content presented on the following show is intended for satirical and educational purposes only. The views, opinions, and statements expressed by panelists and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the host, production team, or channel. Additionally, any third-party content featured in this program is used in compliance with fair use under United States copyright law, which allows for commentary, criticism, news report, teaching, and research. Viewer discretion is advised, and we encourage independent thought and discussion.
You're having a conversation in bad faith. Did you say women are children? Did you say women are children? No.
Do you get every bad bitch the same way, my nigga?
No.
All right then. So that shit's irrelevant. It's moot.
That most men nowadays don't want to be a protector and a provider. Most men don't want to be a leader.
So you know that you're here because of your father? Because men determine the sex of the baby? Did you know that?
You wasn't putting it down mentally. You don't know how to touch her without touching her. You wasn't putting it down sexually, and you wasn't putting it down financially. So yes.
So that she's so awesome and intelligent and everybody missed out and you just so happen to walk upon a flower? Yeah, she's lying to you.
Right. But this woman saw you. When this woman saw you, she already wanted you before you even open your mouth. Like Ali said, you didn't convince her to nothing. That's the male.
Psych!
Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who? Yeah. OBO Sound 2025.
It's time to do.
What's going on, family? What's going on, man? Hopefully y'all doing good from wherever y'all watching. Much love to the panelists who arrived. Hope we give y'all another untouchable super panel. We have another great few guests. We're gonna have some more people coming through. Your host with the most, man, he's in his Kanye West mode right now. He went to the dentist today. He can't really host the way he liked it today, so Ali's gonna try to take over for a little bit. And hopefully he engages when we need him to engage. But he playing the Kanye West role today. He gonna tell y'all through the wire. But today's panelists right now, we have my beautiful sister Jada. She's engaged in mental health. She does a lot of marriage counseling, and y'all know she does amazing debates and conversations on the panel. My sister Chelsea, I believe Chelsea does mentoring for both men and women. I'm thinking to help them help them get to that money. My brother Six does that too as well too. People don't know he's trying to help people get to that money as well too. But they both came here to participate in the conversation and always give out intentional and thought-provoking information. And then my sister Niche, right?
Yes, Niche.
She's trying to do her thing in comedy. I believe you're doing stand-up comedy.
Yes.
Is it just stand-up comedy, or you doing film too? Are you getting production as well too?
Film and stand-up, mostly stand-up right now though.
Right. So we have another super untouchable panel for y'all, man. And these are the 6 panelists that are arriving here today. My brother Fatty, do you have any information to go across before we start?
Played the wrong intro. I'm upset.
You played the wrong intro? It was fire, whatever it was still fire.
Guess next week. Sorry, player one. Damn.
Hey, that's okay. But before he says one more thing, man, when hopefully we have an intentional conversation, everybody come here to truthfully, have a purposeful conversation as well too, in good faith. If you're asked a question, we hope that you answer it. If you can't answer it, we don't want to over pursue, try to make ourselves look crazy for over analyzing and try to get something out of you like we on trial. So we'll just go to the next person if you want to give up your position when you're asked a question. But I hope that everybody came here to have a conversation that more than anything is thought-provoking, and hopefully in some way bring people together. Go ahead, my
I'll play the icebreaker real quick, and then we go from there. There you go.
There for him as much as possible. But eventually, after months, especially with us not being boyfriend and girlfriend, after months of me doing like pretty much everything for us, I kind of got fed up. But eventually, as a woman, you get frustrated when you have a man and you feel like he like ain't doing nothing really. So I was telling him like, you need to start streaming. I got to the point where I told him, let me establish myself in my career, and you go establish yourself, and then and we can still be together. I never said we couldn't be together. I said just go establish yourself, get something going for yourself, like something consistent, you know. At least stream. That's what I kept telling him. I was like, just stream, do something, you know, just establish yourself. Because if I'm up here and you down here, and I'm not saying that that's what it is, but I'm just saying like we need to be. I feel like a good couple should be on the same level, or maybe the man should be like a little bit higher than the woman.
So is that so is that what we're tackling? Should a man be established before you enter a relationship with him? And we can start with my sister Chelsea and go around to Jada, my brother Six. Yeah, you know. Instead of saving the best for last, they get to go first.
Okay, so what are we talking about? Yes, I absolutely think that it's in everyone's best interest to get their own individual selves together. As from a man, I mean, I'm not a man, I can't speak from a man's perspective, but I have been in relationships where I feel like the outcome would have been a lot better had we both taken, I think, some time to truly find ourselves and establish ourselves. I think it's kind of asking for, or you have to expect chaos when you go any other route, truthfully, because people need time to establish themselves. They need to have a foundation before you can even really think about doing life with another person adequately. There's just foundational things that need to be in place in order for anything to really evolve and have room for growth, or else you're going to hit big blocks that make it really challenging to overcome, in my opinion. So I think it's definitely better when like at least the basics are covered, before trying to, connect with a whole nother human. I think that the foundation should be solid first.
And what would you say the basics should be?
I think that you should have a stable source of income. I think you should, and I mean, this is, I guess, for different ages. I don't know. I'm 37. I'm also a mother, but even if I wasn't, I wouldn't be dating someone who didn't have stable income or didn't have a stable living arrangement, a home. Not saying you have to own your home, not saying it has to be a house and not an apartment, but you need to have the basics down. We're adults and we're dating and coming together doing adult things. I don't even want you spending money on dinners or dates if you don't have a vehicle. You know what I mean? So it's just like there's priorities. And I think that for me, that's what that signifies. When you have your foundation in order, your priority shouldn't be commingling or connecting with people of the opposite sex. Your priority should be to get yourself together, established, and get your foundation together before you come trying to reap havoc on somebody else's life who did the work already.
So to add more context is not unfair to you, Fatty. Do you want to add that context about the age? Like, So
these are young adults. Cooking with Kaya, I think, is on 30, 23, something like that, and her boyfriend or person that was with her is very young. So the follow-up question will be: so men shouldn't be dating until they are 35, something like that.
No, obviously this young man lacks ambition, lacks drive. He doesn't even have the like she's pulling teeth to get him to stream from his house. You can stream from your bed, you can stream from anywhere. And she was talking about how she's drained, she's exhausted, she's getting turned off because obviously he sounds very lazy. So I mean, I feel like if he would have had the time to evolve and grow into the man he was supposed to be, it doesn't have to be at 35, but he needs to take some time. And so it's easy when you come in contact with an ambitious woman, it's easy to just sit and let her take the reins and guide you and lead you through life. And that's not fair for any woman. I don't think any woman wants that. I think it's a lot of us are nurturers at heart, and we're, you know, especially at that age, we want to help. We see the potential. We see, oh, he's smart, he's this, he's caring. You know, I feel like in a few years he could be this, he could do this. But if you have to see those red flags early. If you have to beg someone to want to do, you know, to contribute or to you know, want more for themselves, that's a uphill battle. And no woman should have to, like, we're not moms, like your moms, you know, we shouldn't have to be the person motivating you to want to get up and wash your ass and get a job and get some money coming in. That's crazy. Like, that's, you should want to do that on your own.
So before we go to Jada, to be fair though, if a man has to be established and bring all that to the table, in order for a woman to get those resources and get an established man, does she have to be attractive and in shape?
I think if you're asking about a high value man and connecting with an established man, yeah, I think that it's only right that he would want someone who also falls in the category of a high value woman, someone who respects herself, takes care of herself inside and out, someone who's educated, someone who's well mannered, well spoken, characters there. So yeah, I think being attractive and in shape, I think more so being not in shape is an indicator of lack of self-confidence, lack of self-love, self-worth. So I think that speaks more volumes than, oh, she's fat and ugly. I think it's just like, well, she's severe. Like, how much can you possibly love yourself and be capable of loving someone else if you're clearly not even taking care of the basic needs that you have as a human?
Right.
So I think it's more about that.
But just to be clear, the only way you get a provider as a woman is you have to be attractive and in shape. I'm out.
You're good now.
In order to get a provider, the woman has to be attractive and in shape. Just to make sure that that's what you're saying.
In order to get a provider? No, I don't think so. I think we all have different, you know, not everybody's not going to think I'm cute. Not everybody's going to think I'm ugly. That doesn't mean that I won't find a provider, you know, like I think beauty's in the eye of the beholder. It's not, that's hard to say. Some people might like big, what do they call BBW or something, like big,
BBL.
bigger women. Like that's just a preference. I don't think that you have to be like a supermodel to find a provider. I think that's just within the man himself. I think that's just, some men aim to be providers. Some men want to be leaders, want to be providers and protectors. Other men look for women who are those things.
Well, I want to go deeper, but then we'll stay. But because why does a woman deserve a provider? If she's not bringing attractiveness, if she's not being heavy, if she's not in shape, why does she deserve a provider and a man who's established? But I'll move that to Jada real quick, because think about it. We're saying you're not like fatty ass. So does he have to be 35 by the time he's able to deal with the woman? But if he gets a woman at that time, what is she bringing to the table at that time as well, too? And a lot of times it's offensive when we ask women that question. But if we play that game, it would mean that it's warranted that a woman may have to be attractive and in shape if she gets a provider. But if she becomes unattractive, gains weight, and she doesn't look the same, does that man have the right then to move his resources to another woman if we're going to play that game?
That's for Jada?
That's for Jada.
Oh, okay. So I wanted to say, just to add what you're saying, is that she said educated women. A lot of educated women file for divorce, though, like 90% of the time. So I don't necessarily think that providing men, it's not that being educated isn't a beautiful thing. It's just that it seems to be that women are not submissive, or they just think they're better than the man. When they go and get an education, or they're hardworking women, they're also out in the work field. They just think they're better. They tend to look down at him. I know a woman right now who's filing for divorce. She makes far more than her husband, and she just belittles him in every way. And not saying that he can't have the potential to be a great man. It's just that they're constantly in competition because she always wants to be alpha and have her own, and she's in this masculine, hyper independent type of attitude. To answer the question, though, the icebreaker is that a man does need to be established. But I was having this debate and this argument before. It's very hard when women are constantly going out and trying to be workers and very ambitious, where we're now looking at men as they're less than and lower, when a lot of these men are great men, great quality men, there are great quality men, but I think that a lot of men are becoming more lazy now because there's less job opportunities. Women are just throwing themselves, having sex with them, and also taking on the role of a man of working. So there's less for them, there's less needing of a man now. And we're just kind of we're always degrading them, right? You're not ever doing enough because I can do more than you. So that's kind of my look on the icebreaker question.
Yeah, you have a beautiful voice.
I can't hear you.
He knows he's muted.
I thought you were talking to the sisters. My bad. That's the rookie mistake. You know, sometimes I do that to make sure y'all, you know, on top of y'all game, making sure y'all keeping me honest as well too. You know, I got to do that for the panelists and show the people why y'all untouchable. But for my sister I'm going to Just. Do you believe that a man should be established before you enter a relationship with a man as well too?
I think that depends on the age. So, like I said, the young lady was 23 and he was younger than her. So when you're in your 20s, I'm not sure how established as a man you can be. 20, 21, you're just getting out of high school. You may still be in college. So I think in your 20s, you should be working to establish yourself, but you should also have those basic, like I say, ambitions. You should have some drive in your 20s. You can tell in as early as teenagers if guys are going to be, you know, ambitious, driven, you know, hardworking, hustling. So if you are lacking those qualities in your 20s, I don't think it's too late to kind of get on the right track or find a woman that will kind of help you get on the right track, because you might just need a little motivation. But if we're talking 35, 40, 55 and you still trying to figure it out, it is a little less appealing, you know, because it's like, what are we doing? We're 40. I would like to meet somebody that has the stuff together. You know, I don't want to have to come into a relationship in my 40s teaching a man what to do and how to do it.
And I'm gonna ask you, if it works out so great that way, why is it when the man does become established and become the best version himself, the woman doesn't become more submissive and more cooperative? Typically, she makes more demands and she tries to become more of a trophy wife. Instead of being a better service to the man, she has a higher requirement for the man, and she wants to be treated even more as a queen. When the man increases his reputation and meets those goals and commits to a better man, why does the woman go up in demands versus going up in the quality of a woman he gets?
Oh, because women are crazy. Duh. No, but we really want the world. You know, women want the world. We want everything. We want, so yeah, it's and I think it depends on the woman too. So I'm not speaking for all women, but you know, some women are not satisfied. But I think there are plenty of women out here who do appreciate men who provide, and they can, you know, being their submissive self and let the man lead and provide. So I can't speak for that woman who's never satisfied, but yeah, some of these hoes is crazy.
But from your experience, do you see women become more cooperative, or do they become more challenging for the man when he makes more money?
I feel like those women that already are in those positions have already been challenged. I'm sorry, the ones that I know. So the women that I know, the beautiful women, the ones who get the high value man because they look good, they're already there. So they come off like, hey, y'all got to do this, that's. Then when you do that, I'm gonna need this, that. So that's just the life that they've lived, and they've been able to live that because the men really find value in beauty, and they will, you know, give it to them, give them what they want. So
then I'm going to 6. So brothers are right. Then the only time we really know when a woman truly loves us is when we're at our worst, right? Not at our best.
I agree to a certain extent. It depends. Let me dial back a little bit. When they say, should a man be established before he enter a relationship, establishment looks different depending on what age you're in. What age. Now, at the very minimum, a man needs to be mentally, emotionally formidable. Women intrinsically want to be led. and want to feel protected. The video clip that you played, it sounds like the young lady was tired of toiling with the dude and trying to motivate him and beseech him to want more. If you are not sufficient or lack binary scruples, you're going to run into this problem no matter how old you are as a man, 35, 45, or 25, because you lack your binary scruples. So at the very minimum, you have to be emotionally and mentally formidable so that you can lead a woman. Her intrinsic nature is to be led. But if you don't have the right mindset, you'll never lead her. It ain't even about your money, because women will disrespect a man with money as well. That's why I believe the best relationships on earth is when the man loves the woman more, but the woman respects the man more. Because that respect is going to keep her mouth in check and keep her vagina in check. And that love is going to keep him from doing something malevolent or financially malignant, because he loves her so. Lacking either one of those, you're going to usher in chaos, confusion, and calamity. So again, it depends on what age category this man. You have to be emotionally and mentally and spiritually formidable in order to get that woman to be compliant and cooperative with joy and glee. You don't want her to do anything in a way where she's begrudgingly giving you her cooperation, because that would impede your progress as a man. And as a man, you should never be reduced to your bank account. And I'm saying this, I live pretty damn well. But before I did, I got here financially, I was already here mentally. So my wife was able to see the vision and give me her cooperation with joy and glee, because mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, I was strong, I was formidable, and I was impregnable. The money and the leadership ability is a byproduct of your mentality as a man, no matter what age you are. So that's really my thoughts on that. As far as women being uncooperative, I don't think that has anything to do with a man's money. It has everything to do with her relationship with her binary scruples, right? Because if her binary scruples are flawed, then it don't matter how much money he give, she gonna want more. It don't matter how soft he is, she gonna want him to be softer and then be mad because he's too soft. So that's why you have to vet and do your best courting a woman that you feel compliments you, and you, which goes beyond her look, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and beauty is only skin deep, ugly is to the bone. So you got to get a woman that will give you her cooperation and her loyalty with joy and glee. She has to she got to have a high amount of respect for you. She got to respect you more than you respect her to a certain degree, but you got to love her more than she loves you to a certain degree. And that relationship will surely be fruitful and have jeopardy.
Oh, he froze? That's crazy. And he froze with a mean face. He was like,
I didn't hear you say that again.
No, it was Ali. Ali froze. Let me get Slice real quick, and then I'll give my take. Go ahead, Slice. Thank you for being here, brother.
No, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm having some phone technical difficulties, but I'm happy to be here. I would just say, when listening to the question, I'm so grateful that our parents didn't have this same theory that a man has to be stable or financially good before having a relationship. And I hear it a lot with women, like, if you don't have your situation straight, then you might as well don't date until your situation straight. If that was the case, a lot of us wouldn't even be born. In the grand scheme of things, when we talk about relationships is so much more than the financial piece. And a lot of times, I think when it talks about man being the provider, it's very much different definitions of that compared to, depending on what the woman think providing is. But in the situation we're providing, I think a man is a natural provider, and I think it's bigger than the amount of finances he has. And we laugh about how much certain men make, but you can be a provider at whatever status or level you make. So if I am a Walmart employee, prime example, and I'm making no money, I could provide for a woman, maybe not to the standard of what some of these women would like to require, but in all reality, if I'm able to put a roof over her head and make sure she has clothes and shelter on her back, then so be it. That is a man who is providing. Then if he's loving and if he's able to support her emotionally, these are all other ways to provide outside of finances. But a lot of times we get so caught up in what we think society thinks a man should have, or the level of providing in which a woman could provide for herself. She feel like if he's not matching it, or if he's far beneath that, then that diminishes his value as a man, and that's totally so untrue. And even a man being a protector, it holds so much value, so much more than even being a provider, because if the man wasn't there to protect, there would be men walking inside apartments every day taking the finances of these women. There would be monsters out here. Men protect their women, men provide for their women. And I'm talking about real men. And the financial level does not really determine the quality of that man. It's just the truth. And when we talk about the average salary, I'm sure it's probably $40,000, if I'm not mistaken, across the country, or 40, maybe 50. I might be going high with 50,000, but we all know that's on this platform that's not a lot of money per year. So if you're searching for a quality man, you need to be searching more character than finances.
Thank you very much, Slice. So this is what I'm going to say real quick. Expecting men on their 20s to be established is like expecting your woman to be beautiful at 45. It's in my opinion, it's ridiculous.
Sorry. What the fuck? Sorry. That was fucking crazy.
No, it's fine. Go ahead, Chelsea.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Chelsea. What did I say that was wrong?
What? Are you kidding? Were you for real?
Expecting a man to be established at 20
I
is
agree
like
with that part.
expecting a woman to be beautiful at 45. What did I say that was
that
wrong?
Part?
I gotta disagree with that, because
before opulent go ahead, Chelsea, and tell me exactly what's going on.
It was the comparison, because I didn't see, first of all, I didn't see that coming. But yeah, a 20-year-old being established, I can see that being, that's why that's important to take into context the age of the people that we were initially talking about. However, it's not shocking for a woman to be beautiful at 45. So
how many plastic surgeries, how many procedures, how many Botox, how many naturally are you going to look for enhancements?
There's a lot of natural.
Regardless, it doesn't matter, natural or not natural. Beauty, like 45, beauty at 45 is not hard to.
So can I jump in here?
No. It was my time. It was my turn, right?
Sorry.
And then I with all love, okay, friends. I'm not trying to boss you around, right? It's and fellas, this is why you need to be ruthless, right? If your woman gets older, and if man is going to be treated like this, if men that take 20 years, 15 years to get to the place they need to get to take care of these women, they need to have a career path, they need to become a little bit more sober, they need to have 10, 15, 20 years of actually some growth so they can take care of these women. If men are going to be treated at 20s like they are 45 and 50, we should leave this woman as soon as they don't look like they were looking when they were 20, right? Because this is the deal that we get. The thing that we value the most in y'all is your beauty. The thing that you value most in us is our wealth, is our ability to protect, is our ability to provide. That as soon as we stop doing that, for the most part, women just say, hey, appreciate you, I'll see you later. The fact that we have women looking at the men like they either have it or they're going to be replaced, you shouldn't be dating. Like, why should women be dating then when they are young? Y'all are broke at 30, y'all are broke at 35. Y'all go to school, get a bunch of debt, take 20 years to clear that shit. Like, why should you be dating? Why should you open your legs, having kids? If I have to be established to have a girlfriend, why should you be dating? You shouldn't. Because women, for the most part, and most human beings, they never get established. They live paycheck to paycheck. and they are 3 paychecks away from being homeless. That's what most people do. They meet each other broke, they go to school broke, they go to a job broke, and they reach financial independency by the time they're almost retiring. The average millionaire is 58 years old. The peak of a man financially is on his 50s. So, once again, this is not about the man being incompetent. This is just about female greed. A woman will always want a man that earns more than them because they want to feel good when they be with a man. So let's going to be honest. And once again, I will say this, and then you guys got it. The 6 Chelsea slice. If we're going to be ruthless towards this man, okay, and this man have to be on the wheel for 1 decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, then don't take the wrong, like, please don't use it against them when they say, I had to work for 20 years. Y'all told me to not date because I was not established. So now I don't date nobody of my age. I will date 20-year-olds. And as soon as they start to get a little bit a wrinkle ear and all that, I'm going to leave her and I'm going to find a new one. I don't believe in that. But if that's what we're going to do, and if we're going to be ruthless, then don't complain when men start to act just like women. Go ahead, you have the floor. And I'm sorry for stuttering, but my head is not working well. Go ahead.
No, I was with you. I just it was like a sucker punch when you said women at 40, you expect them to be beautiful. I do agree, right? That once a woman is 40, let's not even just give the number 40. Let's just say a lot of their years are behind them. The younger woman is their competition at that point. The younger woman is typically her titties sit up a little more because of the youthfulness and all the other things that occur. So I do agree with you that as the years go on, the value of the woman, if you're talking physically, diminishes some. And if that's what they're leading with, then they're becoming less and less valuable each day. If that's the quality that they're bringing to the table is their looks.
Well, let me say this. I want to ground the conversation and anchor it to Fatty's initial comments. So, in general, women are born with all the things that men like, love, want, and adore: youth, beauty, softness, nurturing. Men, we have to acquire all the things that are naturally, intrinsically important to a woman: status, power, finances, prestige, pizzazz. That takes a while. Women are born at the top of the mountain and are judged by how far they fall. 30 years old, 40 years old, 45. Men are born at the bottom of the mountain conceptually and judged by how high we can climb. So if you do predicate your relationship on beauty and finances, then I have to agree with Fatty. If you predicate it on, hey, you be beautiful and I have all the money, then yeah, what you're saying is correct. But in the end, in that scenario, both parties will lose. A 45-year-old man and a 23-year-old woman is least likely to pair bond permanently or have a successful family unit because her brain is underdeveloped. She is not there. They're in two different chapters. So that relationship will surely erode. If a woman chooses a man simply on his finances, it doesn't matter if he's boorish, belligerent, malignant, he got the money. I want him. He'll take care of me. That relationship will surely erode. There has to be an essence of love and understanding and complete adoration for one another if the relationship is going to work. So I wouldn't recommend anyone to choose a relationship based solely on beauty or solely on finances, because beauty will run out, period. If you 60 years old, 70, and you get a 30-year-old at 70 years old, homeboy, you don't even have enough testosterone to last 5 minutes. Matter of fact, you don't even have a sex drive. Now you asking this 30-year-old who's at sex drive not to have sex? No, she's going to cheat on you. And she's going to leave you. You put a down payment on that. You should have dated from a pool of your peers I believe that in my heart of hearts. Date from your pool of peers, the highest of the highest, if however high was the highest within your grasp. Date from your pool of peers, and you can mitigate going through a heartbreak and losing all your finances to a woman that was only with you for your money. So while I agree with Fatty, I do say that setup is you putting a down payment on your own calamity. Don't just choose somebody strictly for beauty or strictly for finances. That's hubris and it's asinine.
So Six, but the problem with this conversation is that women don't see eye to eye with their peers. A woman that is broke thinks she shouldn't date a broke man. A woman that rides the bus thinks she should get the guy with a car. A woman that's weak wants a strong man. A woman that's short wants a tall man. A woman that is emotionally unstable wants a man that is emotionally. You see what I'm saying? Like women don't see relationship as, oh, you are the person in front of me. We both work at McDonald's. Let's go ahead and let's build something. I want the supervisor. I want the. You see what I'm saying? I want the regional manager.
I agree. I agree, but let's break down the minutia of that. I agree, but if you get into the crux of what you're saying is intrinsically, a woman has to be in a place where she's looking up to her man in some kind of way. So if you choose the right woman, no matter what age you are, you don't necessarily have to be a multi-millionaire, but you do have to have a superior mindset, a superior level of discipline, and a keen understanding of where you want the relationship to go.
So he's better than her. No, but see, that's the point. So he's not her peer. He's better than her. You see what I'm saying? Like he's actually better than her. And Chelsea, you said that you disagree. Why do you disagree?
No, so sorry guys, my connection is like in and out. I agree with everything that he's saying. What's your name? Sorry, I don't.
My name is Petty. I see you. I see you.
The guy in the car. The guy in the car. I agree with him.
His name is Six.
Oh yeah, you. I don't agree with a lot of stuff that you said, but I'm trying to remember what you said. That
so I said that women always want people that are better than them. For example, I see driving. Is that Chelsea? Is that the G wagon?
Yeah.
Would you date a guy on a Toyota?
It's like, it's not that I wouldn't date a guy in a Toyota, because there's many people who are successful who drive Toyotas and you know, think that this is a silly investment. So I don't care about your vehicle. Like, you know, it's not, I'm not materialistic in that nature, but I do believe that because I aim for and deliver the best that I possibly can for myself, that's going to absolutely translate into the relationship and the man that I choose for myself. I would absolutely never aim down or choose down for what?
So you want a man that's
in every
better
area
than you?
of my life. Yes, I absolutely want a man that's better than me. I absolutely want a man that I can look up to, admire.
So you agree with me?
I agree with that point. That's not where I said I didn't agree. I agree that women do, but a Toyota doesn't make you not better, or you know, better or worse than me. That's
Chelsea,
very materialistic.
Hold on, Fatty. So Chelsea, where do you disagree with him then?
I don't remember what he was saying. When he said what he said that I disagreed with, I said I disagree, but I don't remember.
So I started with.
Oh, when he said that all women, he said something about like all women want a man, or like won't help a man. Like I've been with people who didn't have anything. My children's father came home from prison with $0, and we were together from day one. Had 2 kids together. Started at the very bottom. He didn't have nothing. He couldn't do nothing for me, and I couldn't do nothing for him. But I did have a foundation. I did have a vehicle, and I did have an apartment. And I did have no debt. I had the very bare minimum basic needs met.
Would you ever do that?
No, he didn't. And that's okay.
Jesse, hold on. Would you ever do that for a man again?
Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can.
Your side is breaking up a little. But would you ever do that for a man? Would you ever do that for a man again?
What you think? No, I wouldn't, because that shit it cost me everything.
Right. So then Fatty is right.
But you can't say that women wouldn't do it. We've just learned our lesson from being that person time and time and time again. So it's like we can only be hard headed, but for so long, a
So you
lot of
wouldn't
women
do
will
it.
pick men that they can,
So
huh?
so you had
So
to
you
learn
wouldn't
your
do it.
you had to learn your mistake, and you had to learn your lesson that
Absolutely.
you would do
Yes.
exactly what Fatty said. You would not do it. You had to learn through the mistake.
I think
And you go
Yeah,
and
but
you
he
got.
said every woman. That's not every woman. A lot of women are down to go for potential. I think that's something that
Nah.
you have to learn the
You
hard
don't like
way.
right. So Chelsea, most women say that. Most women don't like the guy they get with. They look at their potential. So the relationship ends for the same reason you picked them. You didn't like him from the beginning. You hoped that he would get to somewhere you thought he'd get. So it shows that we like and love your intrinsic value. You don't actually like and love the man's intrinsic value. He has to bring
That's not
something.
true.
No, let me finish.
Sometime.
Let me
Okay.
finish. You
Go
just
ahead.
said you would not do that again for a man. So looks like you have a lot going for yourself. If a man had a lot going for himself, he would share that with his woman, especially in a society where y'all say y'all 50-50 and we're equal, or where women will be say that she could be the boss babe and the provider and the man could take care of the home. But you're saying you want a man that's better for you, and you would never take care of a man again. So it means you don't like him just for his
I've never, I've
Well,
never,
I'm
I've
about to give
never
it to you.
taken
I promise.
care.
I'm about to give it.
Ali, she's driving.
Oh, I
She's
know
not
she has
looking at the
you have a
camera.
delay.
Yes.
I'm about to give it back to you. Most women don't like man for his intrinsic value. They like him for what he can bring to the table. Most men like women for their intrinsic value and who you are. You don't have to bring nothing to the table.
Do you think if you lost your Chelsea? Do you think if you lost your
But
G
yeah, he's
wagon that people wouldn't date you? Do you think if you were on a bus stop and a man found you
Right.
attractive, do you think a man wouldn't say, "Oh, Chelsea, how are you doing? Oh, I have a Mercedes. You have a bus pass. I'll take care of you. I like you because you're nice to me." Like, do you think that men usually do that to women?
because men go for more physical, is what you're saying? More if they're pretty, they don't care about what she's
It, it's
achieved
it,
success wise.
it's not even because y'all pretty. Women that are built like SpongeBob are getting married and getting boyfriends. Women that are 500 pounds are getting boyfriends. Like if you look at
But
the
not
secret,
getting providers, not getting providers, according
but
to what I was saying earlier.
yeah, but most men are not providers. Most men have to go 50-50, 60-40. Most men have to split the bill. This is the economy of today. So the reality is most men are not disqualifying women for not having finances, for not being in shape, for not being agreeable, for not being feminine. But women are disqualifying men because they don't like the way he dressed, because swag, because he doesn't have the right car, because he doesn't have the right job, because I already betted on the guy that didn't have nothing. So I like they don't have patience for nothing.
What
And then when you
what
say, so go ahead and date a guy that is 20 years older than you, they will call him a predator because you should date a woman your age. No, he shouldn't. If I have to get where I need to get, I need to work 20 years to get to a position where you like me now. I'm not going to pick you. I'm going to pick the woman that you were 20 years ago because, respectfully, if I had to wait for 20 years to eat, you are going to eat scraps because I'm not going to get everybody leftovers that you got from 20 to 40 and I'll pick you because you are my peer. Women don't date their peers, women date their superiors. And if they
what
date their peers, they settle for them. So why am I settling for you
Exactly.
when
I
you look
agree with that.
40,
That was
when
great.
you're not
That
you
was
look
great.
20?
well let me say this. Let me say I partially agree.
I wish I would have learned that sooner too.
I partially agree with you. First,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, if you need money to get her, she ain't the one. If you need money to get the woman, she ain't the one.
Facts.
You can only buy a whore. You have to earn a queen. Only whores can be bought. A lot of women in this modern day era, the reason why they don't want to choose from the pool of their peers is because they don't want to date the man. They trying to date the lifestyle. Think about that. They're not dating the man in this era. They dating the lifestyle. They dating his wallet. And I would admonish every man to stay away from any woman that is only finds his bank account attractive. Again, you're putting a down payment on your own calamity. So as a man, because manhood is a mentality. Manhood is psychological, not chronological. It don't matter if you're 25 or 45. Some people are gonna be 23 for an eternity because they thought life is infantile. But as a man, You should never choose a woman that's only attracted to your wallet. And when you say, what do a woman bring to the table if I got all the money? See, men, mentality, men marry behavior. Do looks matter? Yes. It's a part of the hierarchy, but that's not the deciding factor of a man. It's a behavior. So what do my wife or what do a woman bring to the table that a man should want? A higher sense of purpose, a higher sense of power, and a higher sense of love. That is the exchange. Because as a man, I don't need you to buy me a car. I can buy my own car. I need to extract peace and power when I come home. I do not want to come home and toil with you. I do not want to tether myself to a woman that's going to make the relationship arduous. So the exchange is her divine femininity, which is powering your manhood. Your very manhood is powered by how she pour into you. So it don't matter how fine she is, if you're worried about what she's doing when you're not looking. It don't matter how fine she is if she's belligerent with her mouth. It don't matter how fine she is if she's uncooperative. She's going to be a distraction to your purpose. So the exchange is her divine femininity and her gleeful cooperation.
Yeah. I was gonna say this, and I don't know if there's any.
Sorry, I was muted. Go. Everybody's having technical difficulties. I'm going to take Kick out of the rotation because I think Kick is the one that is freezing everybody else. Six. I think that's inspirational, but it's not as difficult as that. We just need him to be quiet, cooperate. Just don't be a detriment on my life. For most men are not even asking even for a net positive now when they get into relationships. Just get with me. Don't cheat on me. Don't do something stupid that's going to ruin my reputation. And please don't be like every single time we have a disagreement. Like don't just don't be a net negative.
But
Like,
but Fatty, if you have to beseech a woman to do those things, you already tethering yourself to the wrong woman.
But that's what
That
most
means
women
that she.
do.
That means
Women are not for
she.
free. Women are
That
not
mean,
for
but
free.
no.
Woman come
You
with a
should
great
not.
cost.
Right, true, but you should not have to beseech any woman to be those things. If she don't come to you already displaying those qualities, why do you even want to tether yourself to her? So
Because
saying,
most
just
people,
don't embarrass me, just give me peace. Just if
because
you have
most
to
people
actually go ahead.
because most people don't come like we said, all these people married late. Most of these people at 35 and 40 have nothing to do with the person they were at 25. They had to build each other, they had to go to some turmoil, they had to do a bunch of things that they had to point to each other. Hey, you don't dress like that. Hey, you don't talk with me like that. Like, it has to be actually examples. It's like me going to a job, right? I might be the greatest Harvard graduate, but if I'm going to a site, the things that are going to make me the best engineer is how I repair things that happen in front of me, right? It's not just me being a theoretical person that has everything good on paper. Is how do you deal with adversity, the experience that you have to the point where you are confident when things happen to you. With women, I think most of women can look at their background, like for example what Chelsea said, and Jada said that too a couple of shows ago. Like, she was not always this feminine and calm and collected person. She had to grow through things to actually grow into that person. So I get what you're saying, but for the most part, that usually is not how relationships go. Is I had to go through something. We forgave each other and gave opportunity for us to grow. And now 7 years later, we're left in 2017 where we're fighting over a kitchen renovation and almost divorcing when that was nothing in the history that we actually built together. So we kind of grew out, grew from that.
I understand that point, but that there's a big difference. Don't conflate that with a discourse and your binary scruples. If you meet a man or a woman and they already have a discourse with their binary scruples, you shouldn't even tether yourself to that person, because at the very center, at the very crux of their personality is flawed and foundational. They don't have what it takes to pair bond and be fruitful and have jeopardy. I'm talking about the crux. If they don't already come to you like I'm soft, I'm sweet, I'm cooperative. If he don't already come to you like, yo, I'm a man, I know what I am, I know what I'm supposed to do, just get out my way, I got us. If they don't already come to you displaying this level of understanding of their binary duty, the relationship is doomed. And if you chose to overlook that, whether you a man or a woman, if you chose to overlook that, I don't care if she took you for all your money and now you living in a poorhouse, you overlooked something that was important. You're not a victim, you are a volunteer.
That's
See,
unfair.
let me just say one thing and then Ali got it, right? And to the people that are kind of not talking on the panel, we then go to the main event. Shout out to the 200 people watching. I'm going to read the super chat in a second, right? But Six, there's again, sounds good. You yourself, if you get like a time machine, you could steal your woman from yourself if you go back 20 years. You are better. You are not.
While we wait on him to come back, I'll further elaborate.
No.
At our intrinsic nature,
one second.
We are encoded what we supposed to be doing. We have the freedom to do whatever we want.
One second.
But there's a way in which we were created to operate that we have no say-so over. It is at your intrinsic nature. Now you can go outside of your intrinsic nature, sure.
That's crazy.
But you cannot be surprised when you usher in chaos, confusion, and calamity. When you go outside of your intrinsic nature to try to pair bond with someone, I don't care how the relationship ends. You are not a victim, you are a volunteer. If you stay within your intrinsic nature and become proficient, sufficient, and efficient in your binary roles, you will surely usher in peace, abundance, and longevity. Anything outside of that will surely erode. And I can attest to this. I've been on both sides of this coin. So I'm just trying to admonish men and women to not... Go ahead, Fatty. Go ahead.
Can you guys hear me? Hey, Six, you would steal your woman if you went back 20 years ago from yourself. This is the point. Like, people don't like to be realistic. This is what happens in real life. This woman is so loyal. She only has eyes for a man. She together for 20 years. And then here comes Six, the new worker. And Six spends 8 hours with her. And he goes to lunch with her. He makes her laugh. And he's in shape. And he's handsome. So now all of a sudden a woman that was extremely loyal and honest and all those good things, now she's considering do some other things. Happens the same thing with men. Very loyal until Big Booty Keisha comes around, and now he's contemplating if he's going to actually do it or not. People are difficult to predict, even if these people don't have, like, they have all the things that make them good on paper. I'm not going to be the same person that I'm going to be 5 years from now, because I'm not the same person I was when I was 30. I'm not like that. If I compare myself with the 28-year-old of me, you will not see nothing. There was partying, doing a bunch of, like, you couldn't see me because I'm not the same person. I'm completely different. So I will tell
but your basic characteristics are the same, though.
Absolutely not. No, you know why?
No. Like your character does not change. So if you have integrity, so that's what I'm saying. So your character changed as a person, the things you value, your morals.
Yes, absolutely.
What changed?
If you met me when I was 28, I would be a feminist. I would be extremely liberal. Everything that is liberties, go ahead and do it and all those things. Like they say, you are born liberal and you die conservative. There are certain things that you kind of look at society and says, even though I am of open mind, I think people shouldn't be doing this. I think people should be doing that. I think people should. You see what I'm saying? So if you compare me myself and you are going to tell, hey, who is this person when 2016? I'm a Bernie bro, a Bernie supporter and all that. I will tell you, hey, but Trump supporters, all of them are racist. Fuck them. And now in 2024, I can have a civil conversation with the Trump supporter, even though I still don't agree with them. And I can understand why, for whatever reason, they went out of their way to vote on that man. People grow, people change, people evolve. And what you are saying is, choose a woman with character. It's all fun and games until she gets a promotion, and now she's getting way more money than you. Now the games begin. Because that relationship that you had with that woman, like the kid had with Kaya, because he met her. Probably she didn't let all that going on. As soon as now she's around millionaires, as now she's driving better cars, she's going to better places, she's traveling more. All of a sudden, the relationship that was something that was secure is up to grabs because her mentality changed. Some woman you can identify it. Most of people you can, because these people grow into people that you have to pray. They kind of change, but don't change bad enough for you to still kind of grab them and pull them to the conscripts of the relationship. Go ahead, Niche, and then we get open panel, super chats, and we go back to the. We go not back. We go to the main topic.
The relationship aspect versus like political harmony. Like, so the things you look for in a relationship or the things you bring to a relationship. That was what I was speaking more to as far as 20, 30, 40. You know, if you know that you're loyal, if you know that you're a leader, if you know you're protector, provider, I think that kind of stays, you know, throughout.
I would lie to woman. In 28, you know, I would lie to woman. Yes, I would lie to woman.
You got to stop protecting when you're 45. Like, I'm tired. Fuck it. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Like, the type of man you are.
No, but protecting what? I don't have. I will protect my wallet. Like, I wouldn't even protect my wallet, let alone I didn't have.
Leader, provider, protector, loyal, honest, liar. You know, people's. If you're a liar, you're a liar. If you're honest, you're honest. If you're a hard worker, you're a hard worker. Like, those are things that are embedded.
She's talking about your scruples. She's talking about your scruples.
And still not true. For example, Chelsea said something. She said and then you can get it, Niche. She said, "Oh, if for example, if you are fat, that means that if you don't love yourself, no, I can be competent and very hard worker in all the things that I do in life, and just be lazy when it comes to the gym. There's some people that might be very." Like straight line when it comes to everything, but they have an addiction. They smoke too much. They drink too much. That doesn't define them. It's something that they don't do well, right? You can be a great sister, a great mother, everything, but you are a terrible wife. But you are great at school. You are a great teacher. Everybody respects you. Like, people are complex, and when it comes to relationships, I guarantee you, I swear to. The person that you are getting in 2035 has nothing to do with this person that you're choosing right now. As a matter of luck, in my opinion, is what is going to be in their path to bring them closer to you or to shift them completely to the other side of the road, to the point where you can do nothing but leave her and find somebody that will. And with men, exactly the same. The thing with men is, men kind of, the only thing in my opinion that men are clearly like, they are not control or never control is, I'll go ahead, I'll have sex with that woman over there, and then I'll come back to my relationship. But men are not living in a woman in mess like that because they get ugly or because they lost their job. That's not something men are doing. That's something that women, for the most part, are doing.
And that's why it kind of becomes, to me, a bad faith discussion, because y'all know, y'all women better than I know women. The man she really likes does the least and gets the most from her and the best from her. But the man who does the most for her gets the least cooperation and the worst of her. Like, y'all look at it. The man, y'all, if I work for you, Niche, for a year, you're still celibate, you're abstinent, and I still haven't got it. I meet your mom and daddy. I have to be able to cook, go 50-50 with you. Who's more valuable, me or Slice, who already hit on the first night? Who's more valuable to a woman?
Who's more valuable to?
Yes,
you, the person that does everything, but who does she value more?
No. Please think about that again. Who is more valuable? If I can hit on the first night, no, excuse me, Slice can hit on the first night, but I have to work for it for a year. I have to go 50. I'm doing 50-50, doing house chores with you.
You're more valuable,
and I'm getting the worst of you. I'm not getting cooperation, but he got you on the first night. Who's more valuable to you?
You're more valuable, but more unappreciated. If that makes sense.
How can no?
Yeah,
See,
you're definitely
overlooked. That's to her. Like, you're valued to her.
This is why I say it's bad faith. It's bad faith conversation, because in one hand, men will say and women will say, be yourself and let that woman love you. But then you'll set these standards and expectations of what a man has to do. You realize, as we had this conversation, y'all have already moved the goalpost. You said a man should be established to get with a woman, but then it becomes he has to be ambitious. He has to grow. He has to become a better version of himself, to the point that he's still not getting a better version of a woman. But all a woman has to do is show up and don't fall off. Six already told you, You start with your value, sustain your value, and don't fall off. So why
I
can't a
think
man
y'all
just
took
be
established
hold
the
on, let
wrong way. Y'all
me
put
finish.
financially unestablished.
No,
Mhm.
if you
Go
look at the men who have women now, they usually more than established. They got to keep growing. Their assets is growing. They're becoming a better man, and they're working to keep their woman. Not because they're afraid of losing her. Subconsciously, he is, but because they're watching that these women are making more demands, and they want to make sure they have their woman. Their woman is secure, and there's no way they can lose their woman. But even those men are getting compromised for a one night stand. For a woman having her one moment or emotional connection, and she'll compromise that man that does everything for her for one night with the guy she really likes. And you see that with the
That's bad
ushers.
decision making
You,
on her
you
part.
no,
You see that with men
no.
constantly.
Hold on, y'all. You know when we had these conversations, y'all go straight to the red herrings and the straw men. The point is, you'll do nothing. You'll give everything to the man that has to do nothing for you because you actually like him, versus the man that has to keep doing things for you to sustain you and to keep you. You don't really like him
Because she don't like them, like you just said. Exactly, she don't, and she don't like them or respect them.
So
She's
the
using
guy,
them.
so that's why Fatty said y'all type never really changed. You dated that dude that went to jail, and you built with him because you actually liked him.
That's the guy that you like.
But the guy you don't like, he has to have
I
it.
did.
He has to be 6 feet. He has to have 6 inches. He has to have 6 figures. He has to have all these things that he can be with you about, because you really don't even want to be with him anyway. And even when you're with him, you feel like you settling. You really don't like this joker that's next to you. You like that guy that went to jail.
No, can't agree with you there.
So then why did you say you helped build him, but you would never build another man again?
That was he was my best friend before he got locked up. Before any of that, we were best friends. I knew his character.
One more quote, because I have great. You get to see who your woman is when you have nothing, and your woman gets to see who you are when you have everything. That's when you know who actually loves you. So when you strip a man with nothing and he's down to his end, his woman is going to help him build all that back up again, because she loves his intrinsic value. Same thing with your woman. When you get everything and she helps you get to that great man, phenomenal man, you get to see exactly who your king was when he has everything.
Yeah. But that's why it's so important to constantly be evolving and raising the bar, not just for your partner or your expectations for your partner, but for yourself too.
No.
And that's why it's important to really know who you are and know who your partner is, because that's y'all's problem about not wanting to raise the bar. You hit one, I made 6 figures, so now I'm done. Now
That's cliche, Chelsea. That's Chelsea. That's cliche.
Like,
there's a song called "Common Man" by David Ruffin, who was part of the Temptations. A woman, grandma stayed with a common man. Grandma didn't end up with a millionaire. Grandma didn't end up with LeBron. Grandma didn't end up with King. She ended up with a common man. And most of those women had relationships because they loved that common man was her king. That common man was her Michael Jordan. That common man was her.
That's fine. That's great. I don't want a common man. I don't want no average man.
See,
I don't want
let me say this, Ali.
Woman.
Let me say this, Ali.
Hold on. No, slice. She's telling.
Ain't nothing about me average.
Right. She's basing a man and woman's value now based on the physical, based on the superficial, based on the materialistic. It's not who he is.
What did I say? What did I say that was superficial?
Let me say this. She sounds like a lot of women in this era, like I said earlier, that are dating a lifestyle.
You go right after me, fam.
But I'm not dating a lifestyle.
You're saying you're not dating an average man. When you say not an average man, what makes a man above average to you?
Because y'all keep saying, men right now.
Chelsea. No, Chelsea.
So I don't want an average-minded. When I say average,
hold on, Chelsea, slow down. I'm asking you, what's your perfect ideal man that's above average?
Right? It's not average. You just said earlier, it's not common. Most men are not providers. Most men are not leaders. So I'm just going to your point and saying I don't want
Chelsea, please, without no context. I'm asking you personally. What is above average man? I'm asking you.
An above average man these days is a man who aims to be a provider, a leader, a man who is constantly working on himself to evolve into the best version of himself, a man who believes in personal development, a man who believes in God, like has values.
So pause.
Those are basics to me.
Nothing was great father. Nothing was a great son. Nothing
Maybe
was a man
he doesn't have kids.
Chelsea, I didn't interrupt you, please. Nothing was about a man that's about the community. Nothing about being righteous. Nothing about to be a good, wholesome man. Everything you just named was about what's good for a woman. that benefits her. That's all you just mentioned. Because if you ask a man, he want a woman that's a great wife, a great mother, a great woman for the community, a person.
A great wife?
No,
you just said.
You didn't say, ma'am. You didn't say, ma'am. You were just talking about finances. You were talking about personal development. A man who grows, who makes
Has
more.
nothing to do with finances. Personal development is not financial development. Personal development is fixing childhood traumas. Is getting centered with who you really are. That's for you and for your family. That's not for a woman.
So, ma'am. So let's say I was wrong, right? Again, tell me again what's above average man.
Man, like an above average man is someone who is constantly raising the bar, who's doing everything he can to be the best version of himself, healing past traumas, past wounds, trusting and believing in God, having faith, being righteous, not lying, being honest, like but I feel like that should be that should be common. That should be basic. That should be a normal, good human. That's what I mean by
what's good. You're still saying, you added what I said, and then you said not lying, not cheating. That's what makes a man above average if he doesn't lie. So a great man. So can a great man?
Because sadly, the common men.
Can a great man lie?
Not in my lie like a real like a liar.
In general, can a great man lie, ma'am? In general,
I don't.
Be a liar?
No.
Okay, Bill Clinton lied. He was a president of the United States. Can a great man?
I don't give a fuck. He wasn't a great man to me. No, that's not a great man.
I know you're making it about
Chelsea. Was Martin Luther King a great man to you? Was Martin Luther King a great man? Was Martin Luther King a great man to you? That's a yes or no.
I can't say that, guys. I can't say that. I can't say that because I don't know enough about him outside of what we all personally know.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not gonna say he wasn't. Yeah.
So Chelsea,
what you do know about him?
He's a
using
leader.
The information.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Martin Luther King
he's a powerful man. I wouldn't say I wouldn't call him a great man if he had characteristics that showed how flawed. If he cheated, if he did these things, then I wouldn't consider him a great man. I would consider him a powerful man, a leader. Yes, I would, but not. Great is great. Okay, great is great. 10 out of 10, great. I'm not saying you have to be perfect, but that's what great is.
Well, 10 out of 10 is perfect, Chelsea. Respectfully,
even if we concede to that, let's say we concede to what you're saying, right? Would women rather want to be with men? If we raise 10 pastors, would they rather be with 10 pastors, or would they rather be with 10 ushers?
Would women prefer to be with 10 pastors? I guess.
Oh my! See, but
I don't understand. Sorry, I don't understand the question.
Niche and Jada, when it's convenient, our sisters are not going to. They're not going to tell the truth. Because most women are not going to date. They will overlook pastors all day for an usher. Would you rather date TD Jakes or usher?
Now one of them niggas really, but no, I'm just playing.
I
don't even think I understand that reference.
Remember, you're a comedian. You have to tell the comedians be telling.
Yeah, I don't understand the reference.
No, the reference is most women.
Yeah, I don't understand the reference.
Most women would rather be with the man that women desire and they desire than a righteous man and a great man, a supposedly great man. They want to be with the man that's great for them, not an actual great man.
So I said this
and Usher Raymond.
Slide, please go next, right? And Jada, sorry for not giving you the microphone.
No.
So this is what I say. And Chelsea, you probably got a phone call. Okay. So this is what happens. And I'll repeat this until the wheels fall off. Women don't care about right or wrong. They care about winners or losers. Chelsea definition is clearly a winner. He doesn't care. It's not about right or wrong. It's not about what are you a pastor? Are you a winner or you are a loser? And this is kind of cutthroat. It is what it is. But the reality is, once again, Chelsea is a person that clearly wouldn't respect a man that makes less money than her, drive a shitty car, we have to be honest with ourselves. The same way I wouldn't date a woman, a flat back, respectfully, even if she was a great woman. I know my problems. I know I should value women for what they bring to the table and all those things. And a nice woman, and she cooks and cleans, but she's not looking some type of way. She's not going. But the problem with ambition is that's a lie. If you meet a trust fund baby, it doesn't have to improve every year. That's a lie. If the motherfucker already has 20 million in the bank, you're not to keep pushing him to get a better job and to get more. No, he's already self-made. He's Donald Barron Trump or whatever the fuck they would do this, and nobody's going to ask him, you need to be more. Hey, The Rock, you need to go to another WrestleMania and get another movie and get another. No. Actually, to be honest, these women are not satisfied with even the winner is not keeping woman, which is crazy. There was a point of time if you were the king of the if you're the king, if you're the pastor, if you were somebody that actually had some type of either clout or money on the village, you will get all the woman. Nowadays these women are not even keeping those people, because if you put woman from as a priority, the woman is going to leave you because she's not going to respect you. But if you go and play another season as Tom Brady and you're not going home because whatever the name of the lady is, like Giselle, if Giselle doesn't want you to work and Giselle says, no, I need you to come home right now, you're still going to lose them anyway because you prioritize your work. They're not happy with, like Ali said, with staying at home and taking care of the kids. They're not happy with working. Most women, unfortunately, don't know what they want. So if they don't know what they want and they are telling you exactly what you should do to get women, you shouldn't listen to women at all. If they like you, they go in. If they like you, they will pick you up on the bus stop. If they like you, they Uber themselves to your house at 3 a.m. in the morning and fuck with you in the couch, in the floor. Watch Netflix with the TV, no furniture, no nothing. The price that they want is for the guys that they like, for the guys that they don't like. So all this conversation about what men, and going back to the beginning of the conversation, men only dating when they are established. Let this woman like a motherfucker that he still has nothing. Like him. Like he makes her wet. Right? He's the guy that when he sends her a message, she's excited. Oh shit, I'll send me a message. Right? Let this woman get this guy that is not established, send her a message and see if she's going to say, no, Mr. The Rock, I don't want to date you because you need to win 3 more world championship belts so I can be with you. No, she going. And she probably going to get 2 kids by him. And then Camarada says, I like him for him. That's the man that you like. You are always going to go. So please don't tell men that are not established to stop, because woman will never stop. Woman will tell you, go get a job. Woman will tell you, go get a car. Woman will tell you, go get a house. And they will literally be prison babe or whatever. That's crazy that we got it on the same time. No, I did
there he goes.
Setting.
There he goes.
But hey, and you know what's fucked up, Ali? There's another demon that is in jail right now. The guy with a bunch of tattoos on his face and all that. He got 3,000 letters from female fans trying to save him for whatever reason. So why do I have to be better? Right? Why do I have to be better just to turn around and see you with the guy that never got better and still got you pregnant and still got the relationship? It makes no sense.
It's cap. So then that would bring that question. Then the first question, right? Can you really vet a woman, or do they just change when it benefits them?
Jaden, and we go. I'm going to read the super chats, and then we go kind of to the main topic. Can you vet a woman, Jaden?
What does vet mean, by the way?
Vet meaning you are going to do when you go to the job interview and they search your history and they go to your social media and all that. Can we vet a woman to the point where she actually going to be predictable inside of a relationship?
Ooh. Dang. Yes, and that's I think for the general, no. Just like kind of listening to yours conversation. No, because I do see women, I do know women who are even, virgins and stuff, who still later on they switch up, or they demean the man, diminish the man as well. He's not doing enough, even if he has a house, even if he has these things. So I just think that's something like an ego death that a lot of women have to go through. And like humility, because when I was listening to Chelsea, it's a little unhumble, like I deserve this, I deserve that, I want better, I want more. And then even when she said like he has to always consistently be raising the bar, that is something I think a lot of women say and a lot of women want, is like a man that's constantly, it's almost like we're in competition with him, not like we're in competition with the man. Like you kind of always have to be moving. So I don't think you can really vet a woman. Like you can't really, you just need a woman that's humble, like humble enough to where it's like I can find contentment and peace in just my family and nurturing my family.
Isn't that crazy? Imagine if, and we just pointed out, like, for example, I don't want no man to leave a woman because now you're 45 and she's 45 and she doesn't look like she's 20. That's ridiculous. Especially if that woman went through something with you. She had your kids, all of the things. Like, you actually should stay with that woman, right? But imagine me saying this. I'm going to be vulgar. Sorry, Ali. Ali told me not to do it, right? You better cook at 40 better than you cooked at 30. You better suck my dick at 41 better than you did when you were 23. Yeah. You better be that booty better, those teeth better not be saggy. Like he's the if man was dating man, woman like woman dates man, like y'all wouldn't stay 2 years because there's a level of like we need a baseline, right? We establish a baseline. This is what Angry Man used to say. Relationships should be like this. There's a bunch of turbulence, it's like a plane. There's a bunch of turbulence when the plane is trying to go up, but as soon as we go up, it's peace. It's just going to get a rough patch here and there and all that, but it's kind of cruise control since the beginning until the end of the trip. And then when we go down, when people die, when our kids are out of the house, then you go ahead and look at relationship that way. Right. The fact that women want the relationship to keep going up and up and up and up and up. This is not a spaceship. We can afford a spaceship. We got a little parachute. We just flying here and there. Like, why do we have to keep going up and up and up and up and up? For what exactly? Like, right? Like, for what?
And this is why, like, I hate to say this, but like a working woman is you hear how she said he needs to be better than me. Basically, like he needs to be better than me. But if you're already working, you're already in a G-Wagon, you already are super established, your pool gets so much smaller. And then you're also going to not only need a man that's higher than you, better than you, but also constantly climbing up the ladder. I don't even think those men want a woman with masculine qualities that want a working woman. They probably just want a woman at home, submissive to them. You have to look at those pool of men that you now want to date as well, or you want to settle down with. What are they attracted to? Well, as we've seen and we hear, if we listen to them, they don't even want that. They don't want the educated woman. They just want a really nice woman who is interested in them, who listens to them.
You know what I realized though, when women say it's projection, it's really that women want to put the responsibility and the expectation on a relationship on the man instead of putting it back on her. She's doing what her mama did. Instead of saying mama needs to improve her behaviors and her womanhood to keep daddy, the man has to always improve himself to keep from losing the woman, because the woman would have to focus on herself being a good woman and a better woman that keeps the man. So she makes it so he keeps the longevity of the relationship, and he always has to go up and do better to keep from the light from shedding on, pointing at her to go, no, ma'am, it's your job to keep the relationship. It's your job to improve as a woman based on where you were before, where you couldn't keep a man. That's why mama failed to keep daddy. But if mama would have worked on herself, she would have got daddy, because daddy didn't have to work on himself. Fatty talks about this all the time, where mamas are raising sons to be better than the version of man that they have in their head. But daddy didn't have to do all that to get mama. So it was mama who had to improve herself to keep daddy, because daddy got mama. He didn't have to become a better man to get mama.
The sad part when listening, I don't mean to jump in. I'll be real.
No, you actually should. I was just going to say one thing real quick. They're raising kids they will never fuck, and that's hilarious. They are dating this bad man, and then they're saying, "Hey, little Billy, don't be like that." But you'll never look at Billy. You are raising him to be a man that other women are not be attracted to. So what are you doing exactly? So man could lay you down. Dad could literally put 2 kids on you. You do everything for that, and now you're raising me to be a person that is not attractive to this woman, a man that, like, that's crazy. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So the part I was going to say, what I didn't get a chance to say while the young lady was on, is that the pool that she's selecting from based on her criteria is so small that there's so many honorable men that she won't even be in their category. So when she talks about, let's say she makes 6 figures, let's give that the baseline, and he has to make equal or as more, that means almost every school teacher who could be a great human being to society is off the radar. So if you're telling me she has to clearly say and be honest with herself, I would never date a school teacher. I would never date someone who runs a community center. I would never date someone who could be honorable professions. And it hurts that finances kind of in today's society blind our women so bad that they'll quick to say there's no good men out here, but the reality is we're all of those women are chasing the same 500 guys out here, and then they're getting the results that they're getting.
And I actually am glad that she came to the show, and I want her on the show again while she's not driving, because she was like, when people driving, they kind of get a little bit. But the thing is, when you as a woman accomplish what she accomplished, now respectfully, for you to be enough, you need to be somebody out of this stratosphere completely. Like Jada said, these men are not looking for a woman with G-Wagons. I'm sorry. It's not like the power couple. Oh, damn, she has a G-Wagon. I have a G-Wagon too. No, that's not how it, like, you see what I'm saying? Maybe they're going to pick her because she's attractive. Maybe he's going to pick her because she's nice to him. Maybe he's going to pick her because every time he goes to the coffee shop, like, she makes him feel good and his wife doesn't. So it is like, men are very simple. And the fact that, once again, and Ali says this so much, and this is the part that I can't reconcile with women having money, is, so I get money to take care of everybody. I get money. Hey, Ali, thank you very much for taking care of me, brother. Here is some shit. Hey, let's do a business together. Hey, Jada, I remember you shared those Instagram reels with us. Thank you very much. Now we're balling. Let's get Jada into a studio and let's get our subscribers. Like, when men get things, is I'm going to go to the people that support me, to the people that love me, to my everybody, and I'm going to take care of it. And as soon as women get money, I'm going to get a guy that gets more money than me, so I don't have to spend my money and I can feel little next to him. Why? You already got the money. Help me. What is the community says? Help, please. Help me. Help me. And this is what happened, for example, on this Kaya situation. And once again, it's kind of poetic. You are going to do the things that is going to bring this woman to your circle. And then as soon as she gets exposed to money, to clout, to people that are above her on a socioeconomic status, you are done. Women are the new men. Like, women are the new men. Men used to date like this. I have a fat wife, but I know I'm rich. Let me go get this big booty Keisha because I never got this before. Women are the new men. And the question, since Bruiser is here, because I want to hear from Bruiser, is, how do we put the genie back in the bottle? I have no opinion, no idea. I have no idea how you can kind of not stop, but kind of like appease the more monster. More. I want more shoes, more bags, more trips, more cars, more clout, more. Like, how can we stop? Like, how can we put back the genie on the bottle? Bruiser, and then just Niche, and we're going to read the super chat afterwards. Slice, jump into, please, if it's possible. Go ahead.
How can we put the genie back in the bottle? And I'm sorry for being late. Ali, I did say 6. I just ran into a couple obstacles, bro. Don't kill me, bro.
No, you're good, sir. Thank you very much.
Light-skinned people, man. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Light-skinned Eagles.
Well, what I would say is, man, if you want to put a genie back in a bottle, and I'm assuming we're talking about, getting relationships back on, being success, or between man and woman, meeting their expectations and desires. I would say you need to, if you want to have a woman, you need to have a conversation with her and ask her, what does she want? You know what I'm saying? What does she expect? Or how can she be the one, the wife that you wanted to be? What does she need from you specifically? That's what I did. And I think if you start there and just get away from statistics or what's the likelihood of happening, maybe she might deviate from what's the likelihood of happening. If you just focus on what she wants, what does she need to be able to operate in your vision? You know what I'm saying? You might be able to put the genie back in the bottle. That's very bland because I don't know precisely what y'all talking about. But ladies, y'all think I'm hitting it in the right direction? Maybe.
I think a lot of women don't know what they want. I think that was one conversation we were having. So although that sounds good, she could say one thing and then kind of switch up later. And that's kind of something I was elaborating on earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming the woman knows what she wants.
We've been on.
They don't.
No, Bruiser. We've been on countless shows. We were just on last week's Lapeef, and we asked the woman what a perfect man was, and she was like, "I don't know." And when you and I want y'all to identify something. When you talk about what a good man and a bad man is, I keep putting emphasis on this. It's objective. But when you start talking about what a good woman is and a bad woman is, it's subjective. Can't nobody tell you what that is. And nobody wants to tell you what that is, because as soon as you bring logic into the table, a lot of sisters can't manipulate anymore and deflect from the point that a lot of sisters have to show up as women. And when they actually meet a man, it's going to be the first time in their life that they're actually required to be a woman and have responsibilities. If you have to be logical, then you have to be accountable, then you have to be responsible. And once I become responsible and accountable, I can't manipulate anymore. And that's the main thing that happens. So to Fatty's point, until we want to go back, and I'm gonna be truthful to y'all, until they want to go back to an established actual patriarch and go back to archaic days, and y'all think I'm playing because I'm just say it, we ain't going nowhere, because women are asking for leaders, but then they don't want to be controlled. So it doesn't make sense. Women are asking for men to be fathers, but they're not allowing the man to dictate what his kids are going to do. So as long as we become overmothered, and like Fatty said, the women are the leaders of the community, we're going to continue to live in disorder until she says, you know what, babe? Just take all of this. I want the rest of my soft girl ever. I want the rest of my femininity. If we fail, it's your fault, even though I already said it's your fault, everything anyway, but I never let you lead. From now on, I'm just going to let you get in this driver's seat and take us where we need to go. And then we'll get back to the right place. But I don't think that's going to change until laws go back into place or men literally have to just control women. Because I'm actually something, Jada and Niche.
Yes.
Were families better when women have been sexually liberated with feminism, or when men had control of women?
Definitely not the sexual liberation one. That's definitely not it.
Yeah, I think back when men did have families were better, because that was a unit that was almost necessary. That was
no. I want to hear that. Are families better when a woman does whatever she wants to do, or when a man controls a woman?
Controls. He's the head.
Depending on what that man is, that man that's controlling.
No, why we got to go to the extreme case? I'm saying a man. Why we got to see what happens if I said it the other way. We always look at women in the right image. She's honest. She's
no,
loyal.
I wouldn't say that either. I was just going with what you said. But yeah,
are women loving and caring, or manipulative and miserable?
Both.
See, you won't give the answer.
I want to like give you some stuff, but I agree with what you're saying. I'm happily engaged.
You can't say Niche, but Niche, that's you. But Niche, that's you. That's you.
She's engaged.
They're manipulative and miserable. But when you say women, I'm a woman too. So
say both.
When I say both, I'm gonna talk about me too.
If I say Iggas is shooting out here, what is that? All men or them Iggas that's shooting?
But so all women can't be loving and caring?
No. Are most men shooting each other? No. So we know what we talk about. We talk about
so
the
most
minority.
women are bitter and miserable. That's what we're saying now. Most women are, or a lot. A lot of women are.
Okay, you don't think it's most?
I don't think it's most. I
So
think the women that are loud and wrong are in the forefront, but there are many women who are not that. But what we see on the internet is that. So that's what we think. But women,
so why can't most women keep that man?
Because they don't want to listen to their man.
I think they're capable of both, and they will love and care for the wrong man, and then they will be miserable for the guy, actually guided. Like it's like a circle, right? You are happy-go-lucky. You want to love a person for who they are. You pick the worst of us. You get bigger. You get bitter. You get jaded. And now, instead of being like the caring woman, you are going to is what Chelsea was saying. I learned my lesson, and I don't do that anymore. Right? So the question is, why not put the basket, or why not put the eggs in that basket? But the reality is, and tell me if you disagree, Niche and Slice, more than the woman that was outside and now wants to get cuffed, I'm noticing women that are literally have one boyfriend all their lives, and they did turn 27 and they are itching to go outside. Like it's I like I is the, oh, I was young, I never, and this is the conversation, right? I never did that before. I never had the opportunity to go to parties or to go to college or to experience the single life and all that. And even if you get them early, it seems like that's what women crave. Most women, right? So is the I was young a legitimate excuse to not do what you need to do to secure the relationships that you need? The I was young, okay? Because we talk about the what should men date while they are not established, and a lot of people say no, they shouldn't. You should establish yourself before you start dating. So on the reverse, right? Is I was young an excuse to actually commit mistakes and to bring baggage to the next relationship?
I would say it's a legitimate excuse. Um, it's a legitimate excuse to make bad decisions when you're young and dumb. That doesn't mean that it won't be consequences for your actions off the mistakes you made young. So if you were young, and we'll give an example, and you were for the streets and you was out here and you build up a reputation, then you're limited as you when you want to change that lifestyle. You set a limit on the type of guy that you may be able to receive, because a lot of men are not going to accept a woman who's been running the streets that bad. She may not just be of quality for him. Um, so it is an excuse. We're all, a lot of times when we're younger, we make decisions that are not, or some of our brains are not even fully developed at that time. So it is a legitimate excuse, but you will hope that someone would give you enough game or wisdom that you don't make those dumb mistakes young, that it comes back to haunt you once you mature.
But they give it to you, right? The guy that is on the thumbnail, everybody was on his neck. The Travis Hunter kid. Actually, let me play this so we can go so we can go to the main event and we can talk about it for a second. Like this dude was more than warned. Like these oh my god. These dude here, he was more, he was more than warned, right? And I'm not going to say this is a woman that don't listen. Men, for whatever reason, and I was a part of it. I think every man on this conversation, right? You had an OG or somebody that come to you to give you the business about woman, and you're like, nah, not me. She loves me for me. No, she'll never do that to me. Let her. I wonder, what is that, right? What is that? What is that that the old, like somebody that you know, somebody that knows? What if you come to you and they say, hey, brother, about woman, and we will side with the woman no matter what, instead of siding with the person that is 20 years our senior, has always had the best interest? Like, what is that?
Hey, so is there an issue with him marrying her?
Absolutely.
Yeah, what happened? What's the story with that? I'm sorry, y'all.
So he's one of the top picks of the, and she's pregnant. She has a baby bump, right? So basically, what happens is this dude, Travis Hunter, was one of the most recruited stars in high school. He went to college. He played there, and the relationship with the woman that he's with, like, there's a bunch of reports. Like, it's a bunch of little things and then some big things. Little things is, if he's getting the player of the year, she doesn't stand up. She's everybody clapping and all that. She's just sitting there. They go to like he's signing autographs to the fans. She's annoyed on the sidelines, right? He has the best game of his life and looks at the cheerleaders, and she sees him just looking at cheerleaders, and she made it about her and the relationship instead of the game. And then later we found out that she kind of like he would take her to parties, stay in the car. She would go outside and do whatever she needs to do, and then she'll come back, her twerking on other rappers and all that. So she has a track record, right?
When they were younger, when he first got in her DM, she wasn't attracted to him, didn't want to deal with him till her friend told her who he was.
Okay.
She wanted nothing to do with him till she told him who he was, and then she wanted to deal with him. And then, like he was taking her to parties, letting her get drunk and messed up, and then picking up from the parties. He wasn't even going to parties with her. He was like her chauffeur.
Let me ask you this: Who was he?
Hey, Bruiser, give me just 1 second because I have to read the super chats and then you got it, okay? Don't forget, nobody forget what they were saying, okay? No one forget what they were saying. Thank you very much, Carl Anderson, for gifting 5 untouchable memberships and $35 via PayPal. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Carl, man. I appreciate you. Thank you very much,
I
sir.
believe that there's multiple so-called black leaders who believe that they are untouchable.
Got untouchable empire, baby.
We have John Henry, the sponsor of the show right now. He says, if she expects a finished man, she needs to be a complete woman. Thank you very much, John. John comes back and says, value has no worth unless it's agreed upon because you get what you qualified for. John Henry says, Shahrazad Ali, quote, the more education a black woman gets, the more out of pocket she becomes. Damn, that's crazy. John with a $10 ball. Nonsense. Uh-oh. What the hell was this? Nonsense. Leadership is not up to the individual alone, much less their mentality. Leadership is only as good as the influence and trust that instilled and accepted by potential followers. Thank you very much. John come back again and says, I see one element missing from this conversation. You can protect what you can correct. Age will show these to you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. John back again saying, wrong. Again, young opulent. Man, provide focus. Damn. Allergies, headache, toothache,
Bless you, my brother. Bless you.
everything hurts. Everything hurts, friends. Everything hurts. Wrong again, young opulent. Men provide focus, guidance, direction, discipline, security, stability, fitness, masculinity, knowledge, care, and protection. Guys, write this down. I'll tell JetGPT to do that for me, John. John, $10. Back again says, does Chelsea not realize wanting a guy doing better than her means is marrying down? Him marrying her is hypogamy, whereas her marrying him is hypergamy. Watch her response. She already left, unfortunately, but she will be back. We're going to have her for a little bit more time. Dottie girl, 2 pounds, and damn, nearly 8K subs, fatty, about to take off. I'm trying to be like Bruce and Jada. I'm trying to get my subscribers up there. John Henry, $10, saying opulent. People need to lay down a baseline in the beginning. If there are transgressions later, it can be said that you didn't know. This is relationship one-on-one knowledge. Thank you very much, John. We have 7 to go. John says, woman should bring femininity, fitness, friendliness, fertility, depending on age, cooperation, agreeability, description, discernment, nurturing, and peace. Point out a woman on the panel showing these.
Oh man, hey.
I had to hit you with the hate, John. John, $2. Don't forget Jada clowning Will Smith. Not this Jada, the other Jada. Midrian, thank you very much for the 5 untouchable memberships, sir. I appreciate you. Salute.
I believe that there's multiple so-called black leaders who believe that they are untouchable.
The untouchable empire, baby.
John Henry says, ladies, you can't keep asking for intros, ribbon in the sky, while steadily bopping to Mary J. Blige, Take Me As I Am. Come on now. Damn, John's being funny. PCZ in the building says, it is dazzling how a woman can insult the greatness of a president just so it might seem reasonable to degrade the common man. Oh well, nug nug and Pookie, wait. Thank you very much. PCZ, I appreciate you. John Airy says, do men save more money being single as much as women save money being in relationship? That's actually a great question, John. Again, men chase, but women choose. But if you are her type, she can be persuaded.
John need to be on the panel.
Hey, you guys want John? You guys want John on the panel? You better know.
Damn.
You better know that's for John on the panel. John is not playing with y'all.
Okay.
Feminine Melanin University. IJ, she says, happy 1 year anniversary to our friendship. Have great show week, etc. Thank you very much, Jada, for being an untouchable for here.
So, you think you're untouchable?
And finally, we have Darian Martin saying congrats to Nietzsche on her engagement. Thank you very much. And shout out to Tio for the $20 via Cash App. We need 5 members and $45 to get all the goals. Support Il Kalinali Cash App 2 is rolling in the bottom. Money sign Ilkan, and we're good to go. Bruiser, are you sure you want to defend? Are you sure you want to defend this? Just make sure.
What you say?
Because you said what was wrong with them getting married, right? It sounds like you had like a contrary opinion. You think they should get married?
I think men and women should go for whatever outcome they desire, and if they find any resistance, figure out the shortest path to least resistance. For example, and this is a part of the thing that's missing from this space is we have all the things you shouldn't do, but we don't have the solution or the workaround or how to navigate. And that's why I've been trying to focus on how to navigate these issues, because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, most cases when we talk about young women like her, if we use the sexual dating market talking points, we're talking about a young woman who's fit. She's young. She's in her early 20s. She's at the top of her prime. She don't have any kids. When we see women out here that's acting like a 304, what do we tell them? We tell them to go get therapy, put away your 308 pass, and go get married. And what does she do? She did exactly what a lot of guys in this space say: go get married. She went and found somebody who want to marry her. She married, and for some reason we can't accept it. So it just kind of confuses me. Like, so what do we want her to just die alone at the peak of her prime, or just?
Nope. What we want is hoes to be hoes and be proud hoes and honest hoes. We don't like chameleons. I respect an honest hoe. I will treat you very well if you're actually honest. So if you're honest, hoes are fun. They're fun to be around. You take them on dates. You cuddle with them while you're watching Game of Thrones in the winter. I don't have no problem with that. The problem that I have is that this woman has clear red flags. She walks like a thought. She walks like a thought. She dressed like a thought. And now all of a sudden, I love you for you. And now I'm pregnant. Immediately on a year that he signs a $40 million contract, something like that. We know the nature of woman. This is an ambush. And this is going to end extremely well because this woman clearly doesn't like this man for him. She likes him for what he can provide for her. And if you look at the track record, especially what Ali said, the fact that she didn't like him the first time he hollered at her, and the brother or the best friend had to tell her, hey, that's such and such player from such and such thing. And now all of a sudden she's, oh, now I'm going to give you a chance You should never, and I'll repeat this happens a lot of times when men get rejected on their 20s and then the woman circles around on the 30s. If she didn't like you from the beginning, there's no reason for you to engage with her, because it grew on me doesn't happen the other way around. There's no man that says, man, I didn't like her, but she grew on me. That doesn't exist. Either you like that girl,
we don't want the women dating the pookies and getting.
No, we don't want O's dating. We don't want O's dating the best of us.
We don't want them dating the pookies. We don't want them dating the bad guys. We want them to go after the best option they can get.
No,
is that true or not?
No, we want women to go get the best option they can get. But this, like, if I said, like, Bruiser, you are an accomplished man, right?
Better option for her than this guy.
What'd you say?
Who is a better option for this woman and the one she chose?
But this is not about her. This is about him. He's the prize, not her.
Well, I'm not arguing whether it was a prize. For example, let's do that.
This is the man in a billion. She got the best man that she can get. Yes.
So what if this couple came to you, say, you know what, Fatty, I like your content, man.
Yes.
And him and his wife paid you X amount of dollars to sit in front of them and give them premarital counsel. And
yes.
They went through all the social media, dragging them. They took themselves off. They went and got their minds right. And they said, you know what? We want to get married. Let's go see if Fatty can give us some advice moving forward so that we can be in a healthy, successful relationship.
Yes.
What kind of advice would you give this couple?
This couple, I said, sir, run for the hills. Somebody at 32. Yes. Focus on yourself. Focus. You know why? Because I am not going to do the PC answer. If Bruiser came to my office with a stripper, and I know Bruiser is a retiree, military dude, in shape, 6'4", he can have a bunch of women that are quality women, and he gets on my office with a stripper, I'll pull it to the side and say, what the fuck are you doing, Bruiser? What the fuck is this, man? What the fuck? I'm going to tell you. You might not want to do that shit because for whatever reason, you are born again Bruiser, but hoes need to be treated like hoes, and dangerous men, emotional men that have no value, I will tell the same. Hey, sister, man trying to bamboozle out of your pennies. Stay away from him and go get somebody that actually likes you. Why can't we tell people what's right instead of tell people what sounds right?
So this woman came to you. She's 22 years old.
Yes.
She says she want to put away all of that and move forward and be the wife to a man and have a family. You're going to tell her to go back to the streets.
I'm going to tell her the best way for me to predict the future is to look at the past. Your past is inconsistent with the things that you are asking. So build 3, 4, 5 years of track record that actually show that you want a relationship, and then marry and get pregnant. You don't do the bad example, married kids. No, you have to build a foundation. You have to build a track record of years of doing things together that you clearly see that people like each other, very close to each other, and then you move along. Getting married, and I disagree with Kevin Samuels a lot about this shit. You don't know nobody in 6 months. This kid is 20 years old, 21 years old. We all knew what we were doing at 21. This man is going to be steamrolled. He's not just a truck. He's going to get the plane. He's going to get he's going to get God. And Bruiser. Bruiser, this one thing. Bruiser.
For anybody.
Bruiser. And rumors say he didn't sign a prenup. So, hey, I don't know, Bruiser. Well, go ahead. You got this.
Well, I mean, I would like to hear from everybody else. I mean, is that the same sentiment y'all have? Because I just thought that we were in the business of redirecting women who were making poor choices and behaving bad so that they can be on. But if we're not even doing that, like, because I've been doing good in business, and I noticed, like, whenever you start to help people solve problems, you can't. You gotta help them solve. You gotta figure out what outcomes they want and help them reach them, and you got to take yourself out of it. So one thing I learned whenever I started to do well in this side is I had to take myself out of it. Like, Nobody cares about what I think. They're trying to figure if I can help them get from point A to point B. Now, if they say what I would do, if they say, well, what would you do in this situation? Then that's different. Then I would be like, yeah, I probably wouldn't mess with her. But if this man wants to be with her, if Travis Hunter came into my DM and my email and said, hey, man, I need to then I would coach him on how he can make sure he's, fulfilling what he want to fulfill. And that's the woman he want. Who am I to tell him that he shouldn't go for her? That's who he want.
So you don't refuse business?
So what?
You don't refuse business? You don't say, hey, lady on your 37s, don't date Kanye, he's crazy. Run away. Like you don't refuse business. Like this is an extreme case, right? But if I get, let me guess, Andrew Tate, right? And I get a regular woman, and she's like, Fatty, I love him so much, and I think he loves me too. And I say, lady, this man has 7 kids and 7 baby mamas. He's the biggest playboy in the planet. He's in trouble legally. You go ahead and you go talk with Slice. You tell Slice if he has a cousin. You tell Bruiser if he has a brother. You don't go to the motherfucking Andrew Tate. You're going to get the chainsaw. Like, why would I actually that's a one consultation thing. If you come back again with that bullshit, I said, hey, let me send you to Bruiser. Because he's the one that is into
completely honest with you. And it rarely goes with how can I get this? How can I get that? It's mostly why am I not getting this? Why am I not getting XYZ?
Yes.
And then once I start asking a whole bunch of layered questions, I can figure out what exactly is hindering them from executing the plan. And then I coach them through that. But I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm not going to coach you through something because I don't support it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm capable, if it's within my scope of work, then I can do it. But if you ask me, what do I think you should do based on my own ideology, my beliefs and perspective, then I can lay that on there. But oftentimes when you dealing with this business, people only care about the desired outcomes they want to reach. And I don't want to hog it up. I'll let anybody else speak.
Last question. So if a woman and a man come together to your office and the woman says, I'm leaving because that's what I want, do you try to change your mind, or you say, this is the law, this is the legal?
She's on the fence.
No, that was not my case. That was not my point.
Well,
you are changing.
She never came to my office if she would have never wanted.
No. It's like weird. Bruiser gives advice about relationships, and she comes to your office and says, "Hey, Bruiser, I'm here out of respect. My husband told you to try, but I want to leave because this is exactly what I want to do. I'll think about it for a while."
Saying. You're saying if she came to me and she wanted to dissolve her relationship.
Yes.
Okay, well then I would coach her through looking at the state laws and how to prepare herself, in her affairs, so she can transition out of a relationship.
Even if he's a unreasonable reason.
Okay, what can you give me an example what the reason would be?
I'm not happy. I have a mansion. This man has a 7-inch long. He has a 6-pack. He has a Ferrari. He's a good father. He's a good son. He takes care of everybody. He's a leader of the community. But I'm not happy. I tried everything. I don't feel happy. I want to bounce.
Yeah, then I would coach her through looking at the state laws and getting her attorney squared away so she can transition out of it.
So you wouldn't try to convince her, hey, loony toony bitch, hey, goofy bitch, hey, bottom of the barrel bitch. You have a winner in your arm and you're trying to come back to the streets that are full of piss and poop. Like you wouldn't try to reason with her saying this is what is happening. No.
I get what you're saying. The only way I would do that is if she asks me, what do I think she should do? Or what do I think she's making the right decision? When the client does that, they're opening up the door for me to insert my own ideology and perspective onto her situation. She gave me the green light. Then I can say, well, I think you're making a big mistake, man. And then I will go down the line of showing her why she's making a big mistake and why it's actually more lucrative to stay in the situation she is. But I only do that if she invite me into impede on her choice. But my whole goal is to get her the outcome she wants.
Well, I would say I kind of truly hope that this woman proves, I guess, the world wrong and loves on this man, and that they have a happy relationship throughout. All the signs point opposite from what we see, but the reason why I say this because I remember Kobe Bryant's wife in a period of time where his father and mother, I think, had issues with her and concerns about Kobe signing prenups and different things of that nature. And it seemed that they went on and was able to figure it out and continue on with their marriage. Now, I don't know, we don't know the whole ins and out of their marriage, but she no longer has that label of this is just going to be this gold digging chick who's going to take you for all your money, Kobe. So all I can say is people marry whoever they want to marry, but at 21, a lot of us made bad mistakes. Let's just say it's a mistake. Let's say he's totally wrong and he's not listening to the world and she takes him for half his bread. He wouldn't be the first. And at 21 or 22, I expect you to make those type of mistakes sometimes as a kid. I know people who's in love right now with the wrong person and they just can't break away, and over again until that time when they're totally done. That's when it be done. And it doesn't matter if your best friend tell you, girl, you need to leave him. Doesn't matter if your mama tell you, nigga ain't shit, or excuse my French, or whatever the purpose is. When you're in love, your brain doesn't work the way it should work, and that only comes from either the experiences happen that's making you grow and determine that I see now that I was a fool, or either it works out. And so in that situation, I don't think it's anything anybody could tell him. As you can see, the whole world is texting him, stay away from her. But I pray that she grows as if this gentleman is saying here, or that she gets the right guidance and want to be a good wife to him. I mean, that's all we can hope for.
Would you give him, question to you and to Nish, would y'all give him advice that you thought was right, or would you give him advice about what he wants to do, meaning he wants to get together with her, even if you disagree? Would you guys try to reason with him, or would you guys say, nah, this is what you want, so I'm going to help you out, like what Bruiser was saying?
So go ahead, you go.
I was gonna say, when it comes to that, people are going to do what they want to do anyway. So the most advice I would say is probably like some prenup stuff. But if a man got his mindset that he want to be with this girl, he gonna be with her. So I wouldn't even almost waste my breath saying that's not a good move, because it's like, okay, well, he's still gonna do it. But I do think there should be some talks about prenup, especially knowing that this girl didn't even like him at all until she found out who he was. But you guys let him find out the hard way.
You know what? Can I say something? We actually, to the guys who speak in this space, to slice Maximal's point, it's actually in our best interest if this relationship actually works out.
Mm-hmm.
Because then we could say that what we're saying is credible. That if you put away your bad choices and your poor decisions and your poor behavior at an earlier time and settle down with the man you want to be with and get married, things, the society, the community can get better. So that would indirectly champion what or promote what we've been trying to say to the women that we're kind of bashing. You know what I'm saying? To say, look, get out of the streets, go do this, be happy and build a family. If that works, then it'll give people hope. Like, wow, that actually worked. She didn't go for his money. And then men will be more inclined to be like, if we can get more women to adopt that and more men to be okay with that, we can probably move in the right direction and get out of the rut we. You know what I'm saying?
Why would I care about hope? Like, I'm not sending nobody to a burning building. If that man is emotionally abusing you, right? And emotionally, I'm not talking about crimes. If I know that man is actually bamboozling, put you on the swing, cheated on you and all that, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you to leave. No, you have to leave, lady. Like, I know you want this too much. I want you like Blueface. I know you like Offset. I know you want to do these things. You have to leave. And this is actually, and I don't understand, like, when it comes to if these people come to you and they come to you with guidance, you have to do like you do to the kids. I know you want to eat candy, but motherfucker, you're not going to have teeth by the time you are 30. Just chill with the motherfucking candy, go to that side of the road and go get some vegetables. Like, it's kind of crazy that we give advice to people about everything. Don't eat too much or you're going to become fat. Go to the gym. Hey, don't get sugar, alcohol. If a young kid wants to party, I'm going to tell this is the consequences that is going to happen if you want to party from 21 to 28. Either you want to work now, Save your money, put your money on the S&P 500, get some crypto, and you are going to be balling when you are 35, or you're going to waste all these fucking 15 years doing what young people do, and you get 35, you are going to be right on the same place because you didn't invest in anything on your future. I believe in guiding people to the place where they actually need to be guided. If I'm going to give you if you want something, I know that's bad for you, and I'm still pushing you on that direction, or not pushing you, but kind of accommodate you so you can go to that direction as safe as possible. I think you're doing a disservice to people because for whatever reason they trust you. So the best things my parents taught me was when they told me no, because when they told me yes, I did. I was listening anyways. They told me yes, but when they told me no, I understood something. So why not tell people no when you've seen a woman that clearly is not ready for marriage, or a man that's clearly not ready for marriage? Why not say, hey, chill, y'all need to go through some massive steps to some years together. You don't go ahead and marry in Vegas just because you feel like it.
Well, they're already married, and I think it's different telling adults no than children, because they have their mind made up, and at that point they're going to do what they want to do. So you can give them the consequences. I do like that idea. These are the consequences of marrying somebody who don't like you. But other than that, the choice is his. You know, he's not 12. He's not 13.
Why are we acting like the consequences wasn't beaten across their head from months on viral videos ad nauseum?
And he still did it. So that tells you all you need to know.
That right there will let me know.
He
Like,
wanted to do it.
If they came in my seat and sat in front of me after being obliterated by the same thing that you would say, it wouldn't even make sense for me to say that you're making a bad decision at that point. I think they kind of already know that that's how everybody feels. But what I like to think is there's a side to it that we don't know. We do know that they went on a sabbatical, or they took themselves off of social media, off under the radar. We don't know what they went and did. Yes. We don't know if they went and did the things that we constantly suggest women go and do. Go get therapy. Go to talk to your family members. Go to a spiritual covering or something like that to get your mindset recalibrated so you can, before you get married. We don't know that they went and did that.
Would you advise him to get a prenup?
Would I advise him to get a prenuptial agreement?
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
So they go in the office. They don't want to do a prenup. We just look at that in the eyes of the man and says, brother, you have everything, she has nothing.
So let me ask this question.
I would have to see what he has, what assets he got. From my understanding, he hasn't got his first check yet.
He signed a $40 million deal, something like that, and the sponsorships now are flooding, like he's getting
right. So I would have to look at his assets.
No,
really have, and if you want to protect those, well, we got to be clear. Everything that he earns, every dime that he earns from the time he get married, even with a prenup, that's both of theirs. So he can pick that little small amount that he has coming in.
So for me, my question is, and this is how I would look at it, even my own advice is a prenup. I think the girl was with him when he had nothing. Before, I mean, of course, he's the #1 recruit, high school kid, but you know how that go. That's not promised. You can get hurt and no contracts come from it.
Slice, he was worth $7 million before he got to the NFL.
No, I know he was worth $7 million in college through NIL deals. I don't know if she was with him late high school or when they got together. But what I am saying is, if she's with me in 11th grade, let's just say 11th grade, they got together. This man's a high school kid with nothing. So if she's there throughout the whole journey, then I can see him feeling like, I'm not signing a prenup. She was with me when I had $30, despite the fact she knew he was the top prospect.
He was already a baller when she got with him. He was already #1 prospect and all those things.
No, I know he was the top prospect. That's what made her interest go up once she found out who he was. But at that point, I coach youth football in the city of Philadelphia, so I know some of the top prospects, and they're broke until they get to college and get their deals. So if you're a kid and y'all splitting oodles and noodle packets and different things of that nature at one point in time, you will feel more inclined not to feel like you need to get a prenup with her. You feel like what's mine is hers because she was there grinding with me when I had nothing. Now, I don't know if that's the case in this scenario, but hypothetically speaking, that would make a difference in me telling them, oh, you need a prenup. Now, I would recommend it for anybody who's getting that type of money because a woman leaves 2 weeks later and now you just split half your assets. But I don't knock a person for feeling that way with a woman who's been there in the struggle with them. It's just they're so young. It hasn't been much of a struggle period.
Sure. And that begs the question, like, if he didn't choose her, isn't it highly likely that he would run into the same issue, or even worse, dealing with a woman who don't even that wasn't.
No.
Hold on,
No,
wait.
no.
That wasn't sharing Ubers with her in
No.
high school to find some baddie that's just looking at $40 million. That wasn't helping him carry his cleats and wash his pads off. You talking about these women now that's coming in, that's just waiting across the down in the end zone for you, versus
No.
somebody who's in there in high school with you? It's probably gonna be a worse option from that. I think it'll be worse after that.
You know why there's not, for example, I think it was Eddie Murphy's son marry Martin Lawrence's nephew, something like that. This man already has this man now thank you. This man now has access to women from good families, women that actually have something to lose, women that have legacy, women that have there's a bunch of women that actually come from good families, and I'm not looking at him as a check because respectfully they come from money.
Of an NFL rookie signing a $40 million, a woman who is not either similar to Leanna or even worse.
But Bruiser, you're talking about the advice that you give to that man, right? You said it, not me, right? We're going down our office and he comes to you and he says, "Hey, Freddy, do you think I should marry to this woman?" I say this, in my opinion, is a low quality woman. I know you love her and all that, but this kind of has written "I don't love you for you, I love for you can do for me." So, and you know what's funny? Let me just say this, Bruiser, then you got it, right? Let me just say this. You know the proof of love that you actually prove? She said, "Hey, baby, I'm here for the long run. You need to go and kill on the NFL. I know having a baby right now will guarantee my future, but we can wait. I got you. All these people talking and all that, I'm going to prove them wrong. Go ahead, kill it. I'm not going to distract you with the baby with no nothing. On your ear 3 or 4, we get twins, whatever you want."
There's a loop. There's a hole in that.
Huh?
There's a hole in your position on whenever you say that. You're saying that if Travis came to me and said that I think he should marry her, you already know the first thing I'm not going to say. First of all, why are you on the fence in this? He would have to say, he probably would have to mention some of the things the nasty things that social media is saying. But we all know, looking back at all those clips and his responses to all of the videos that people have been making on him, he didn't care about none of that stuff. It's not his concern about her behavior. He actually waited outside, to your point, whenever she went into parties and was dancing and getting drunk. He was okay with that. So that's not a struggle for him. He was accepting that. So my position is, if you okay with that, then you don't have a problem. You just got to ignore all of the people on the outside.
But that's crazy, because if he was the reverse, and if he was a woman getting having the love of her life at 21, and the man was outside embarrassing her, moving crazy, everybody would say, "Hey, girl, baby, be careful, because you're going to get caught." Everybody nobody would say, "If you like her, hey Casey, if you like Didi, just go ahead and do it."
If a woman came to me and said, "Hey, look, this man is out here flirting with other women. He's in DM." If she came to me and said people are saying this and that, and she's okay with it, she's okay with him DM other people, she's okay with him flirting with other women, and she wants to marry this guy, she's okay. What will we tell her? Go ahead, be with your man. I would argue that some of y'all are saying that most of these women would have to share man. Isn't that the talking point?
No, there's the talking point, but there's already happening. It's not the talking point. It's actually reality.
You would encourage her to go ahead and be with Travis Hunter, even if he had three other options that he was rotating. But he wanted to marry her. You would encourage her to continue to.
So let me ask you something, right? Because Theo asked this question, and I want Niche, you, and Slice to answer this. You have a son. This is your son. This is your son. This is not a random person. This is your son. 21, balling out of control, one man in probably 100 million. Are you telling this man to get her pregnant and to marry her 22 years old after all the things that we saw? Let me go first, Nish, and then to Bruiser. Would you tell your son to marry this woman, Nish? If you had the power, you are like your son listens to you. If mama says so, I'll believe because mama is my best interested daughter. Would you tell, hey, go ahead and put a kid on her and marry her?
No, I would not. And that would be because I don't think she really likes this boy. So it's not so much the age or the groupieness of it, but I really don't feel like she like him, you know. So I would say no.
What about you, Bruiser? This is your firstborn son. Same situation, all of that. Would you tell him, hey, go ahead and make her an honest woman?
If it was, and that means that the decision is up to me, right?
Yes.
And I would tell him no. I would tell him you got better options you could choose from.
So what? Do you agree with me?
No. Well, if it's up to me,
why not give the same advice to a stranger that you give to your son? It's like this woman saying,
the stranger is not coming to me with similar requests.
Yeah, but Bruiser, this is what happens a lot of time, right? This woman would say, "Oh, marrying a single mother of 3 is a very honorable job, and you shouldn't hold it against me." And then you ask them, "Okay, so would you tell your son that he's about to be a doctor, earning $300,000 per year? Would you tell him to marry a single woman or the same woman with 3 kids?" And they says, "No, my son is not going to marry a woman with 3 kids." Right? Why not give the same advice to a random, to a friend, then you will give to your son? Because that's to a brother. That's the real advice.
I don't think you was listening to me. I clarified earlier. If they asked me what I would think, then I would impede on what I would do and what I believe they should do. But remember, I told you that oftentimes when people come in and sitting in front of me, they asking me how can they navigate issues so they can get the outcome. They're not necessarily asking me should they execute for the outcome they want. They're already locked in on the woman they want to be with. They just want to know how to navigate all the side chatter so they can lock in and focus on building with this woman. So there's a difference. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but like if I see you running on the burning building, I'm going to close the door. No, go to the other one, not this one. And especially with women.
If you see me jump in front of a bus, are you gonna jump in front of the bus to push me out of the way?
No, but I'm going to say stop. At least I'm going to try, right? I'm going to put my hands up and say, "Don't do it, Brazil." Like I'm going to signalize something. And if the bus still goes and runs through you, now it's not my problem, right? But my expectation is for people to put the red flag up when there's a flag of there's a flag on the play, right? It's not they're going to win anyway. They're winning by 30. I'm expecting people to.
Let me ask you. Let's say you own a shop. And on the front of your shop is a big ass sign on excuse my language. Say Fatty's Donut Shop.
Burgers.
Okay, Fatty's Burgers.
Thank you.
And you're sitting there at the counter and you see a woman that weighs 320 pounds roll herself in there on the wheel. Matter of fact, let's just say she walked in there. She ordered.
She rolled in there.
Burgers with bacon and everything on there.
Yeah.
Are you gonna tell her you shouldn't buy this? Or are you gonna go ahead and get your transaction in and continue to get your profits on your business?
No, if she comes to me and she asks me, should I be eating this? I would say absolutely not.
See, now you're doing what? See, we agree.
No. She came to me. No, she came to me. No. Right? Well, 1 second. Respectfully, right? The thing is, you come to us for a business. I know that you want burgers, right? But if she says, imagine that this is a regular customer, because this is more closer to the person that books something with you because they either respect you or they see something in you that they admire, right? If she comes to me and says, "Hey, Fatty, would you recommend me to eat on your burger joint every day?" I said, "Absolutely not. You better go get a salad, bitch." I will not tell you, come here every day in the lunch, in the dinner. I know you want burgers, so go ahead and do it. No, I know you're going to die early, so you need to stop that. So, like, isn't that the ethical thing to do? Like, am I going to, like, what's going on? What did I do wrong, Nish?
No, I think you're gonna sell her the burger.
he's damn sure gonna
No,
tell
I
her.
will tell her the burger. Yes, yes.
And if you only gonna say that she shouldn't eat it if she asks you whether or not you think she should.
But that's not my place because she didn't come to me for advice. She came here for a burger, but she come to you for advice.
Exactly.
No,
If Leanna Travis came to you for the burger, you're gonna give him the burger, right?
If he comes to me for the burger, I will give him the burger. But if he comes to me for advice, I will tell him, sir, you are an NFL player. You can be eating burgers every day or it is on the weekend. Like that's like Bruiser. People come to you for relationship advice to get themselves better and all that. You have to guide them to the right direction. For example, I know that you like to dress well with the suits and all that. I guarantee you there's a bunch of people that come to you and says, I like to dress on a t-shirt and some flip-flops. And you still say, sir, for you to optimize your results, you have to go to a motherfucking tailor, go get some suits and you are going to see the difference. Lady, you are good cooking, you are a lovely woman and all that, but you have a fupa. Go to the gym a little bit, get better, and you're going to get better results. The best coaches is the ones that tell you what you should do, not what you want to hear, right? So come to me. If you want burgers, I give you burgers.
It's just the only point it's missing. And if we was to tie it back into the Travis Hunter situation, it would be like Travis Hunter haven't selected a woman yet. And we're saying this is the type of woman, or these are the type of woman you should target.
Yes.
Travis Hunter already having a woman that he's already locked in on.
No. He's not married. He doesn't have kids. He has all the leverage. As soon as you put the kid on that woman, no. Hey, Bruiser, are you apologist of if you're not married, you're single type of thing?
Right. So can we at least agree that Travis Hunter knew, and I think he said it. I think it was a given that this man was going to marry this woman. How can we get in front of that though? Like,
no,
why
you
want to?
Do you see what
we both want?
Do you see what Wife School said? You just plant the seed. This is what to pay. Like, wasn't what Mr. Shakur said? I might not be the person that changed the world, but I'm going to I might plant the seed to the person that actually will. Right? You just have to.
Millions of people have done that on viral videos.
No, but that's the point. You have to plant the seed.
Why do I need to do it when it's already been done? And I'm specifically being singled out from the millions. How do we get to an outcome instead of planting the seed? The seed already been planted. They got it.
No, you know it's funny, Bruiser, and this is my problem with what you're doing right now, right?
Oh man,
I have a track record of you for a long time. I was even laughing. I was even laughing at your thumbnail that you did with the slap thing, right? And two ladies. I saw that. It was a fun video. Actually, that video is blowing up because when I saw the last time, let me see, Mr. McPherson, right? Darwin. I never know how to write Darwin. Here we go, right? So I just saw a video of Mr. Darwin McPherson, a very popular content creator. You might never know, you might never see him, but he's very popular, right? I just saw this man do a video that right now has 40,000 views. And all you did was correct. Guide, you should do this. You are wrong. This is what's going to happen to you if you keep going this way. This is what's going to happen to you if you're going this way. And now all of a sudden you turn around and you don't give opinions. You are a therapist and you say, hey, if you're already going to go that direction, come on, bro. You are one of the people that corrects people the most. And in my opinion, you should do it. If that woman is going to be a cat lady, and Kelly, remember, Kelly came to this space through our side. She was here before she went to Lapif. If Kelly is saying that she wants to get married, but she's not doing nothing to get married because she's busy and she's 30, you have all the right to say, Kelly, you are out of your goddamn motherfucking mind. You are going to waste the prime years of your life trying to chase your career, and you are jeopardizing the chance of being a husband because if you actually want to get married, you will be looking actively. You will just not waiting for somebody coming from the sky. So all of a sudden, now you don't want to offer correction?
Okay, so in that particular situation, you're talking about is a group of women who claim they wanted marriage, and they had all these issues. I was speaking directly to what was withholding them from getting to the desired outcome.
What did they told you?
Well, one of the ladies told me that she was struggling. Well, she didn't say she was struggling. I exposed that she was struggling by exposing contradictions. But she stated that she had all these opportunities and all these other things, this journey she had to go on.
Yes.
Before she could get herself mentally ready so she can.
She said she was too busy pursuing other things.
Right.
What did you say? Go ahead and do it, or just say, nah, man, you're not. You're going to pursue other things.
I said, is marriage your goal? What's more important, being a wife or pursuing these opportunities? And she kept saying, marriage has always been my goal. See that right there? It don't make no sense to me, because if you're saying that marriage has always been a goal for you, then wouldn't it make sense for you to line up the things that you prioritize to put you in a position to be a wife?
Yes.
And we just kept going around circles with that. That's why.
And you are right.
While I was talking to her,
that's
I was
correction.
being attacked by somebody else saying that I made my wife go or quit school or go to work, like, and all the other. So I had to deal with that also.
I know. I saw that. But the Casey was being actually flipping your words. But Kelly, she told you what she wanted to do. She has a career to accomplish. She has other things. She literally said, I need to accomplish these things. She's actually moving like a man, right? I need to get the house and this and that and that and that to get a wife, because it's how I take care of people. And the reality, once again, is the best advice, which was the advice that you gave, is you are going to fail. You need to change the mentality that you have, because if you are prioritizing your career and all these things while you're saying the priority is marriage, you are going to fail. So it's correction.
And the key thing I had going for myself to be able to give it, the difference between me on the panel with these women and having a client, is this is an open discussion. I don't have to treat them like they're a client and help them get to ignore my own perspective and not impede.
That's
on
fair. That's fair. That's 100% fair.
It's totally different. But
that's fair. But if that's fair. But if she came to your office and she said, I want to pursue my career, even though I want marriage, but I'm going to pursue my career, you wouldn't try to switch her and say, you are 30. By the time you're 35, you are jeopardizing one of them. So choose wisely, right?
What I would do is I would make her aware of some of the challenges that she's going to have to deal with if she decide to choose to go on a journey of pursuing her own opportunities and career. Because if she's telling me that marriage is a goal, I'm going to reveal to her how she can see how that's going to be hard to achieve once she get to, because she's already 31. So she's already spent 11 years out of her during her sexual marketplace value. And now she's going to take, and she said another 5 years, so she's going to another 5 years. So now we got to talk about geriatric practice. We got to bring that into the conversations. So what I would do is, like you said, plant the seed on those things, because she's asked me, what do I think? But if she's focused on her journey, then the journey is the outcome. And that's what we're going to focus on it today. But if she ever says, hey, look, I got to my journey, I want to focus on marriage now, what do I do? And now we got to talk about that.
And that's what I would say to Travis Scott. You can get married at 31.
See, like Fatty, I could get
your motherfucking mouth.
I could find you a wife. Play football. I could find you a wife and you'd be happily married. Fatty.
I can find myself a wife. Thank you, Bruiser, for finding something I can find by myself.
Really?
And you know, Bruiser? Hey, no, Bruiser, but you know what's funny? Hey, Ali, you know what's funny? Bruiser tried to change my mind. I'm literally building a studio because Bruiser said, Dave, you don't have a studio because you have no wife. I said, oh, really? Bet. Let's go. Let me get a studio to prove him wrong.
Man, right? What were we doing? We're throwing Anaheim them attacks back at each other.
No. That's not what I'm saying. Is if you are looking at me as a YouTuber and you think my career as a YouTuber can grow by me having a studio, I don't have no problem for you to correct me and say, hey, Fatty, those shows without t-shirts and with crazy eyes on are not the way. I'm okay with that. I'll even be on a talk with that.
No, I wouldn't say that. I think that's what you want. I mean, obviously,
you see, but that's the thing. if you actually care about somebody, even if he's a stranger, you're always going to tell them how to get better. Just Niche is a comedian. I guarantee you, she read the F people constantly saying, you should do this, you should do that, put the stool over here. If you're sweating, this is how you kind of control your respiration. Keep giving it advice over and over again so she can kind of go on a different way instead of saying, oh, you want to do stand up, turning your back to the crowd with the shitty microphone, do it. I think that's actually terrible. Like, I'm not going to say, you know what? You want to do it with the back to the crowd? Buy a Shure microphone. No, lady, you have to look to the people that are in front of you. I'm not going to give you the best quality microphone.
If every time you came to me to help you get to a desired outcome and I pushed back on it saying that I don't think you should do that, how long before I lose you as a client?
There's not. Wait. What? Can you repeat that again?
If every time you came to me to help you get from point A to point B, and point B is your desired outcome, and I pushed back on it and say, hey, no, I think you should do this, and I don't think you should do that, how long will it take before I lose you?
You are going to lose the client, and that's how you lose friends, and that's how you lose family members, and that's how you lose business partners when they want to do something, and you clearly see the shit is going to fuck up. This is how you lose people. Like if Niche,
you agree that none of my clients want to be a friend to me. They don't want to be my friend. They don't want to be cool with me. This is business. You get what I'm saying?
No. But that's the thing, right? I will give the medicine that cures the person. What it sounds like, and you can correct me, is you are going to give the thing that kind of appeases the situation, and they go right back to your office next week to get the next version and another one and another one. It's like
I'm trying to keep them a client so they can continue to
yeah, because if Niche came to me and said, hey, Fatty, I have an abusive boyfriend. He doesn't eat me or commit me no crimes, but he keeps doing these things that I clearly identify as abuse. I say, hey, Niche, you are a dumbass if you come to me 3 times with the same motherfucking problem. Go call Mr. Bruiser. I don't give a fuck about that shit. Like, you are coming to me with the same problem over and over again, spending $100 to say, you abused me, Fatty. And then it comes back, you abused me, Fatty. Lady, sorry, like, you need to do better. And this is what most people do. Did you notice that every person that actually gives tough love to their friends is the person that gets cut out of the group? The person that says, massage them, oh, slay, babe, you look great. And she looks 500 pounds and her hair looks crazy. Those relationships keep going and going and going, and the client keeps coming back and back and back. But the one that says, lady, I am Kevin Samuels. You need to go to the gym. You need to go ahead and grow your hair so you can have nice hair like Niche. Like, that person probably is not going to come back. But just because they're not going to come back doesn't mean that you are not right. You know why? Because all the people that were shitting on that man and saying that he was wrong are literally copying his style. Now all of a sudden, now they are taking care. Oh, I need to be feminine. Even if that man never got the chance to see them back because they were repulsed by his advice, time proved that that man was right. So why not give them something that will actually plant the seed and make them think, even if it's 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, instead of actually kind of not cuddling, but giving them the structure to, Slice is not making you happy, even though he's doing all his job, he's doing this as a man. Oh, this is the paperwork for you to get 70% of his wealth. I don't think there's, respectfully, of course.
Let me try to reveal something to you then.
I will not be comfortable with this type of job.
Do you not think, not to jump in, because I'm listening to both of y'all, and it sounds like he's not saying he's going to tell the person, just quit this situation, it's the wrong shit to do, but he's sounding like he's trying to come up with some kind of variable solutions or techniques to get them to destination B, wherever they're trying to go. And I think it's nothing wrong with, all right, this guy Travis Hunter is married to this woman now. We all too late. If he wanted to stop it or whatever, now that they're here, he's going to try to come up with solutions to get them to the happy medium of where they want to be. Will it work? Maybe the hell not. But I don't think he's going in with the intent and tell me if I'm wrong, from a professional standpoint, to just say, oh, you're a fucking fool, you shouldn't have married her, X, Y, and Z, because that's, at this point, it's too late. There's no reason for us to come to have that conversation with him, because we've already been told these things countless times, and now that we're at the point of marriage, How do we get to a desired peace? And I think that has to be the techniques or the advice that you give. Otherwise, you're not helping either by saying just run for the border.
You know why I'm helping? These are the type of people that I will never want around my woman. Because instead of telling her exactly, lady, you are being ridiculous. Fatty's doing a good job. Go back to your motherfucking family. You know what? We have to acknowledge your feelings, and we have to make sure that you have the right vehicle to express your pain. And she's going to listen to her. And this is a lot of times a woman get another woman divorced because I will tell you this, and this is factual. Let Ilkan Ali come to me and say, I'm feeling like I'm not going to take care of my kids anymore, and I want to pursue happiness, and I want to do. Hey, bro, shut the fuck up and go take care of your motherfucking kids, bro. I don't care if you're my friend. I don't care if you're my business partner. I am not going to enable bad behavior, especially if I care, if you come to me as a person of respect and you respect my message. That's what my dad did to me. That's what my mom did to me. That's the way I wanted my friends to tell me, right? A lot of times, once again, even on great relationships, I think the best relationships are the ones that you test each other. You check somebody because they did something wrong, they accept it, they test you next time, you accept it, and you grow from there. So there's no resentment build, there's no some foolery happening. If a woman or a man comes to you and says, I want to do this bad decision, I think it's our job to stop them. No, not to stop them. That's crazy. That's not your job to stop. I think it's your job to give a fair assessment of the situation, even if it doesn't comply with what the person wants. And then if the person wants to go ahead and jump out of a building, that's your problem. But I think you should give him at least the information. Hey, brother, if you turn right, that building is burning. Go to the other side. Go to the left. If you are not doing that, if you're saying, you know what, get a cup of water and get some ice. I know you're going to go to the burning building, right? Get some fire extinguisher. Nah, don't go there. But I might be totally wrong. I might change my mind.
Well, let me ask you this, Freddie, and I don't want to keep making it circular. I get your point.
No, I'm just saying that I might change my mind when I have like 70 people booking sessions with me.
Well, let me ask you this. Do we, for the people who are against him being with this woman, or the people who hate her behavior, hate her past, and hate her for everything, and also hate him for making a stupid decision he made, if they actually become successful in a marriage, do we go back and apologize, or we continue to just move on?
You say I stand corrected. You were clearly wrong about her.
So why does it gotta wait? Okay, so the only way we can praise and have hope, they would have to prove us wrong. So they're guilty without being proven guilty.
No, you give.
Go ahead. My bad.
You give a educated guess. I remember
they don't have the benefit of the doubt. That's
no, absolutely. So I remember. What's up, Pirmiat? How are you doing, sir? I have no idea what's going on, to be honest. Send the pigeon. So this is what happened, for example, with the Steven Crowder situation, right? Like there was a situation with Steven Crowder that. Like we were like, oh, the woman is trying to pretend that he's abused, and she's going to do the usual, I'm pregnant and this guy's mistreating and abused me. And then the video came out, and I'm like, oh shit, motherfucker, kind of a piece of shit. He was kind of like doing some emotional blackmail and all that shit. Hey man, hey, it is what it is. We might do a fair assessment, and we might give a fair assessment. Hey, this is why I think your career is going to blow up. And the person says, no, I'm not going to go that way. And if she blows up, I can say, Nish, hey, you said correct. I remember when I was talking about your career, about comedian, and I told you to go left, and you went right and you succeeded. Congratulations. These are actually the best things that you can do, is let people prove you wrong. But this lady, 21 and 22 and 25, these respectfully, will never be a Kobe Bryant situation, because at least Kobe Bryant met that woman at 18. They were both fresh out of high school. Both of them had no baggage, no nothing. They probably didn't like because they thought that she was too young. This woman, I'm sorry, man. I don't see it. I can't see it. Damn, silence means that I'm right.
It's just I get Bruiser's position, because he can't. Sometimes you'll get sued. A lot of times you get sued for giving people advice. You can try to give them suggestions on their desired outcomes, but it's the same thing like in giving people therapy or mental health or trying to be a psychologist. You can't really tell them what to do because they'll use that against you, fatty.
Liable or whatever the fuck it is.
But the thing we're talking about is when people are on live and they're doing it, Bruiser. That's the time. That's sometimes where me and you collide. Is in one way you'll give the essential advice for both men and women to get the adequate results, but then another way you go, hey man, let people do whatever makes them happy, even if whatever makes them happy is going to lead to a catastrophic relationship. The disingenuous part about society, and you know that's my favorite word, is that if this woman was 21 years old, I think y'all said it earlier, I was kind of watching, and she was established, they wouldn't tell her to get married with this man, even though if he was a great man, a righteous man, they would say, you go, girl, like get married right now. You have everything you need. All you need is this great man and get married.
Nobody tells Rihanna, hey, are you playing with this man by having his kids and not marry him? Like nobody says, oh, bro, go get married. Yeah.
This isn't even for the benefit of that girl.
Y'all wouldn't tell her to get married?
No. Let's correct that. We would tell her get ready for the marriage for the right reasons. If he wasn't Travis Hunter, this girl wouldn't have got married. All she does is give women.
If she had it, would you tell her to get married to Travis Hunter if he didn't?
I would advise a woman to get married early young. I would always advise a woman to get married early young to a great man and her to be a great woman. And we can give context to that if we want to make it objective as well too, right? But we know that she's getting married because he's an NFL superstar, and people who do support it because they still have hope that they can get a guy just like that, and they want to live vicariously through her. If she made it, women feel like they made it too. Like, hey man, you can do it. You can get an NFL superstar. You can get a man to wife you up, even though you made all these 3 or 4 decisions and the worst decisions possible, and you have no value about yourself. You're not essentially cooking. You're not essentially doing the things that's supposed to be marriageable. You're doing things like if that's her being in music videos, being a vixen, and you still get wifed up and you still get a pro football player. That dude essentially seems like he's in puppy love. It looked like it was his first real girlfriend. He's trying to prove everyone wrong. We all been there. Ali been there. I ain't gonna lie. I told my mother and father that girl loves me. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. This is real love. We're gonna be together forever. And they were like, okay, we still support you. We love you, but go ahead, go outside, and we'll wait till you come back inside. And they were right, because essentially, most of these women at their young age are still looking to do better. They're looking to advance themselves. They're still trying to delay marriage, have their fun phase, their 304 phase, their everything phase. And when they're ready to settle, when they hit that Great Wall of China or Great Wall of Africa, they finally go, you know what? I can think now. I've wised up. I'm going to be a cooperative woman. I'm going to be a submissive woman. I'm going to learn me a couple recipes. I'm going to make me a pineapple upside down cake, and I'm going to be able to still get a man. But when she still gets a man, it's still like, ugh, like, I don't feel comfortable having these responsibilities. I'm not comfortable trying to be a wife. I want to take a break every time I have to pick up my kid. I don't want to do any of these things because all this whole time where I was supposed to wait for my husband, I didn't work on no type of qualities to be an essential wife, Bruiser. Most of these women are just getting ran through and having demands for men, and they don't build themselves to be this great version of a woman that she was supposed to be when this guy got established. So would it make sense if we was young and a woman has her value and don't drop your value, and she's working on how to be the best woman she can be for this man who finally gets established, but she's a man too. So if we wait if the light at the end of the tunnel is a man, what did Travis Hunter just marry but a woman who just did whatever she wanted to do and still got rewarded by being able to marry an NFL superstar who might be one of the best football players ever in history? What does she do to get it? And so we can be mad. I ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna get the out. we see that most people aren't getting the desired results, whether they get what they want or don't get what they want, because it's still part of the superficial, materialistic, intrinsic values of human beings, and they don't care about who a person actually is, who a man actually is, and who a woman actually is. And we always have to have something that we bring to the table. But again, when we bring that to the table, we get the worst version of a man versus the women we got when we just had a one night stand, Bruiser.
And Bruiser, and that's where I disagree with you, right? You said it would be a good example, right? If she could turn around and prove that she actually believes in, like Sam saying, you said it would be a good example because it would kind of like the 90s, you can turn a hoe into a housewife type of situation and all that. I think it's actually
No, I wouldn't necessarily say turn a hoe into a housewife, but I
but she's, you know what I'm saying? We don't know she's a hoe. She has like some old tendencies. You know what I'm saying? It looked like she actually has the
digital footprint.
Yes. And in my opinion, actually, you give a bad example to people that people like this can be reformed. Most of the people like this, man or woman, can be reformed. Like most women that are on that type of time, even when they get married, something is there. You see what I'm saying? The rate of divorce is actually so high, in my opinion, because people that shouldn't be nowhere close to marriage actually get married and have kids. At this point, me saying everybody should have kids, everybody should get married and all that, in my opinion, actually is a deterrent, because the way that we are being conditioned in society, most of us can't even stand each other for 3 or 4 years, let alone a whole life. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know about that.
The only thing I was just saying is if this couple is able to prove everybody wrong, I think it would do more good than what it already seems right now today. Because then that would mean that the things that we were saying, that we usually say day in and day out, hey, get out of the streets, get your mind right, recalibrate your mindset, get married, and become a wife to a man. If they were able to be the personification of what we want couples to be and turn things around, I would argue that would actually give us some hope and give us more credibility for actually pushing this narrative to tell women to get out of the streets. Because then they were like, well, yeah, obviously, because so right now it looks like if us telling women to get out of the streets and they get out of the streets, still don't work.
Hold on.
But if it start working, then it gives us more credibility.
If I ain't gonna say no names, right? But let's just say some of the worst women who've been on our panels, some of the worst women that's been on Lapeef. If they get married, does that impact the market in a positive way or in a negative way? Like if a woman who's undesirable, if a woman she can't control her mouth, if a woman who wants control of a man is getting wifed up, that negatively impacts the market.
Well, if she gets wifed up without rectifying the things that we called her out on the panel,
right?
Then yeah, you're correct.
Right.
If she go and do something about, because sometimes we tell them, look, you're overly masculine, you're combative. You're this and that. And she's taking notes and like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and check down all this shit and fix it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and come back to the table and try to get married. You're correct if she go get married and don't do the things. You're absolutely correct.
But that ain't that most of the women that come on this panel will be going back and forth on them, right? And then they go, but I'm married. So it negatively impacts the dating market because women are still getting rings, becoming their worst selves.
Yeah,
when they're their best selves, when they're the most desired, when they're the youngest, when they're getting their money, they don't want men. They still trying to get the best deal. They trying to hook the best fish. They still want to stay in the game until they literally have to get out the game. Like Fatty said, though, they're a man. They're moving like a man.
I can get away with studying one day before the test, so I'm not going to study it anymore. It conditions people to, instead of actually doing the incremental work day by day, week by week, to just go ahead for the same thing with diets, like the Ozempic shit, right? Kind of easy to do it, especially from a big person. But the thing is, I know what happens when you don't work for that shit, right? I would tell you, if you want to use it closer when go 6 months to the gym, and when you are almost there and your body not breaking up fat anymore, now you can go ahead. before you get the bypass surgery, try to get a few steps, try to actually work a little bit more, because I know for a fact that you are going to lose it, and then afterwards everything is going to, like, just do the steps, and when you have some pattern of behavior, now it's easier for you to now cheat. You see what I'm saying? But for the most part, people just want to cheat. People just want to do whatever the fuck they want, and then still come along and says, "Oh, Slice, hey, Slice, I'm an honest woman and a woman of God. I only fuck you if we get married." And now she's weaponizing sex against you when she has 2 kids from other person, because now is a new standard. I don't believe in that. I believe that you are your actions, and for you to show that you change, you have to develop a track record slowly but surely that you're not an alcoholic anymore. It's not one day, it's not 1 week. I need you to see 5 years of you just passing around bars and not even looking at the window. Because I know for a fact these people respectfully is the I will clean my house on the weekend because I know the cousin and the auntie are coming in, and on Monday, everything goes to shit again because I don't care. So
and Fatty, this is for your God debate. You know what I realized is one of the biggest determinant factors you need for something to be the truth? You need a witness. I realized that even in the Bible, when people are talking about God, no disrespect or taken away from anybody who religious, I still believe in a creator. But everything that we do, y'all, when something gets notarized, when you go to trial, when someone sees a crime, in order for something to be true, typically, there needs to be a witness. So if other men don't say this is a good woman, that's not a good woman. If Slice don't say that, if Darwin don't say that, if Fatty ain't said that, if she ain't earned that title, and when she come back, we go, hey, y'all, hey, Slice, go, Ali, you know her? Hey, fam, like, that's a good woman, fam. Like, you can't just get her. And she's a good woman. She's not no gold digger. This is a woman who carries herself with respect. The community respects her. The men, the women, everybody respects her. And she's just looking for a righteous, nice, good brother. She ain't just looking about if you got finances or not. She got a lot of men that she could have been like that. She's actually looking for a good man who will be a good mother. I mean, who will be a good father and who will be a good husband. But it has to be proved, and it be determined by the man in the circles. We determine the woman's intrinsic value in the dating market. If all of us are saying, man, she's too loud, she's not cooperative, she's challenging, she don't listen to a damn thing, then you married a woman who's not valued or validated by the brothers in the circle. And like Fatty said, she didn't prove it, but she still got a ring.
The Wall of Africa, they made the
Great Wall of Africa, baby.
The Great Wall of Africa. Friends, we have to wrap it up. Ali, I'm going to read the super chat real quick, and then we'll move along. Go ahead. All the content creators on the panel are going to be plugged in the description on the clips that we're going to do. Go ahead and follow Mr. Bruiser, Mr. Slice, two very successful content creators. We're trying to get like them one day. John Henry, $2. Love the person who loves you back. Period. Said period, so I believe him. John Henry says, Bruiser, the individual has to want it for themselves first. People seem to forget that. Most of y'all, not saying you, are not good dating coaches due to the lack of social science background. Thank you very much. And then I want to thank Player One, Zyrex, Hear Me Out, the lovely Doris 2 times, for helping us get into the goals of the memberships today. Thank you very much.
I believe that there's multiple so-called black leaders who believe that they are untouchable.
Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And finally, I'm meme member for almost 2 years, saying salute Fatty, Ali panel, and my chat ninjas. I hope all is well with you all. Thank you very much, sir.
So, you think you're untouchable?
Let me go ahead and let me thank John Henry for being the sponsor of the show today. And if you're watching this on replay, we didn't make the hamburger fun, but we're still here. $45. Any final thoughts before we send everybody to another YouTube channel?
I just want to say appreciate y'all having me pull up. My guy Ali, Fatty. I just my first time being you Slap match, bro. Shout out to you, brother.
Shout out to you, bro.
Most definitely.
He's somebody, Bruce. He's somebody, man.
I ain't nobody.
I just said it was my first time meeting him. I didn't say he wasn't nobody. That's the Ali.
I know Bruce would be like that. I don't know who this dude is, man. But like Bruce, that's how I know you ain't do it on purpose. I know.
No,
but he's somebody. He just humble. He don't be telling everybody, but he humble, man. My brother.
I was just saying this is my first time met you. Shout out to you, man. That's
I appreciate you. Yeah, same thing, man. Shout out to y'all guys, man. I love this platform.
Hey, shout out to you, my brother.
Man, listen, I love the conversation always on here, man. I'm always excited to tune in, and this thing gonna grow, and I believe in this platform, man. So anything I can do to help promote it, I got y'all back. Believe me.
Hey, Fatty reviewed your video the other day with y'all. With the Umar thing, man.
Oh, come on. So,
y'all did Umar dirty, man. Y'all did Umar dirty.
So I'm going to say this, right?
Y'all did him dirty.
So you did there, sir.
We saw that.
I got to watch my back in this city now, but I'm going to say this, though. People don't know Talk Heavy is a mixture of comedy, too. So I know. We being goofballs and we acting silly. So sometimes people who don't know that our pod is a lot of comedic undertone under it, man. I gotta watch my back. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, fam, Black Queens forever, Snow Bunnies never.
Snow Bunnies.
Black Queens forever, Snow Bunnies never.
Umar, I gotta watch my back for Umar.
Hey, Dr. Umar is going to put the Wakanda Warriors on your back. I'm telling you.
I already know it.
Better chill. But hey, man, it is what it is. Hey, let me send you.
That was so funny, man.
That was kind of a crazy video, but I'm going to be quiet about it. Great entertainment for sure. That's why I reviewed it. Hey, everybody go to HQ. Okay. I think, am I forgetting somebody going live today? Friends, my head hurts, my throat hurts, pause. Like, I can't even think. If I miss a redirect, I'm sorry. I try my best. Shout out to OG Speed. Thank you very much for the $5, OG. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. The Untouchables with the new intro and outro. Signing out. Peace.
You're having a conversation in bad faith. Did you say women are children? Did you say women are children? No.
Do you get every bad bitch the same way, my nigga?
No.
All right then. So that shit's irrelevant. It's moot.
That most men nowadays don't want to be a protector and a provider. Most men don't want to be a leader.
So you know that you're here because of your father? Because men determine the sex of the baby? Did you know that?
You wasn't putting it down mentally. You don't know how to touch her without touching her. You wasn't putting it down sexually, and you wasn't putting it down financially. So yes.
It's not that she's so awesome and intelligent and everybody missed out and you just so happen to walk upon a flower. Yeah, she's lying to you.
But this woman saw you. When this woman saw you, she already wanted you before you even opened your mouth. Like Ali said, you didn't convince her to nothing. That's the male. That's the male.